All right, we now have audio. So I want to show you guys something that are watching. I have a
Are you leaning back for the show today? I think I'm going to lean back for the show today.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a remote camera, so that if anybody walks by, we can see them and we can say hi.
Do I look respectable this way, Bobby? Do I look like I'm slouching?
I don't know.
I guess we're both behind.
Are we centered? We're not really centered. Maybe
I told you that.
that's better there. That's a little more feng shui. So, as you can see, are we loud? How does the audio sound, guys?
Yeah, let's talk audio.
Bobby has brought up tacos 24 times. Yeah. What is this? Nope. So, we've got a picture of the hallway. We'll see if anybody walks by before we record and talk to you guys. So, in the Facebook group on Disc Golf Ansman, we put put it out there, a call out there for some topics that we can talk about on the after show. We got quite a few topics, so we'll have a lot to talk about in the after show. You're definitely slouching, says Salvador.
Dang it. Whatever, Salvador.
Whose way, Bobby? Whose way?
Bobby's way?
Porridge way?
I don't know.
Audio's fine for now. It's just for now.
Audio equals good.
Oh, I forgot to turn on the little thing up there. Oh, well, we can see
our monitor.
Yeah.
We all right.
Yeah. So it is Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday after PDJ Junior Worlds. That was an amazing week. We'll talk about it more on the podcast. But
yeah, I'm gonna lean back so that we're the same height.
Oh, sorry, my leaning. When we lean forward like that, it starts hurting my back after a while.
Well, yeah. Beauty is pain. You know what they say?
You know, we should give a disc away.
I haven't heard that before, though.
Are you in Nightbot, Danny, or I need to be in Nightbot?
Should be okay.
I'm
not doing anything. I'm editing.
Oh, I'll do that then. What do I go to? Nightbot.tv?
Yep.
There it is. And log in with my goggle.
It's actually nightbot.television.
Your face.
Yeah, you have to type the
You
whole thing
have to spell it out.
It says TV.
But it's an abbreviation.
And it's in beta.
If you type out television, you get the better version of Nightbot.
He's not wrong.
You're welcome.
Better in what way?
It's just better.
Okay.
Higher definition.
See?
Oh, I see.
Higher,
Is it
higher
4K?
definition commands. They don't come in pixelated at all.
All right, so the keyword is going to be... Where do you put the keyword? There it is. All right, so the keyword is going to be... Is everybody ready that's logged in? The keyword is going to be...
Do you want to show our camera, or you just want to keep showing?
Well, I'm hoping the people will come by, but we'll see.
A couple of people walked by.
Did they really?
Uh-huh.
Did they look at the camera?
No.
Yeah. We're going to do a split screen so you guys can see what's going on.
I quite like that look.
Right there?
No, a picture of us in the picture.
Oh, a picture of us in the... We'll do it like this. And then that way you guys can see us. And then in the corner, in the picture-in-picture, if you see people, tell us in the comments. Hopefully they'll... Oh, who's that? That's Garrison. Hey, Garrison, he's waving. Yay, what's up, Garrison? All right, so he's waving at the folks. All right, so the word will be... I guess we'll just use...
Arling
Robert's...
House.
Oh, I was gonna... Robert's favorite word. Do I have to say roll it, or do I just say boom and then it works?
Roll it.
Start giveaway. There are no eligible... Yeah, see, roll it is when you're ready.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so...
Danny, how do I say... I just put the word warden and then it's good, or I have to hit enter, or what?
Nope, it's just type the word in, make sure all the boxes across the top are blue, and turn on anti-spam, and you're set.
Boom. All right, type the word warden in the chat.
One time. No
One
more
time.
than one time.
No more than one time.
And that's going to enter you into the into the drawing. Not Arling House. Don't type Arling House.
Yeah, you misspelled it anyway.
Warden.
Warden, and we'll give that until 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes until we actually will have our scheduled time
Till
of
the
2 o'clock.
live show.
So put the word warden in the YouTube chat, and then at 4 o'clock we'll pick a winner, and then we're going to go live and start recording.
Your Arling House entries don't disqualify you, but they also don't qualify you. So
So it's kind of a conundrum, no?
Yeah. Warden. This is my dream come true. Look at this.
All the wardens.
Look at this. Look at this.
Although I can't guarantee that it'll be a warden that I give out.
Well, yeah, but that's fine.
Okay, so it's just gonna be what I have in there. So
Warden.
let's see what is going on lately.
We had a busy week.
We had a busy week.
Caps do not matter. Good question.
We had a really busy week. I'm going to start doing stuff on my personal YouTube channel.
Nice.
Some disc golf stuff. So subscribe, Uncle Bobby Jr., Uncle Bobby Jr. But I'm also going to do some, I've been thinking about doing, have you ever tried meal delivery services?
Mm-mm.
I have one called Factor 75, and it's actually pretty good food. And it's already cooked. You just have to heat it up. And there's people doing reviews in there, but I haven't found anybody that does specifically the actual meal that you get. Like today would have been horseradish salmon.
Huh.
Wasn't bad.
I don't really love horseradish, but I had salmon for lunch.
So did I.
Nice. We did it. And not even at the same place.
I know. And then yesterday was some egg frittatas with asparagus and mozzarella cheese on top. It was pretty good.
That sounds good. No protein in that, or no meat in that one?
It had bacon, and of course the eggs is the protein.
Right, yeah.
So I had some bacon in it. But I'm going to do like a rating system. I don't know if I should do like 1 to 5 or 1 to 10.
1 to 5 tacos is the goal.
For those?
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to use regular numbers.
Okay. Well,
okay.
That's fine.
But 1 to 5 is better than 1 to 10 in a rating system. In other words, I'm going to rate this between 1 being bad and 10 being good. Or should I say, I'm going to rate this 1 being bad and 5 being good.
Whichever you want, man.
I think you should do it on a scale where 1 is average and 10 is average.
And 5 and 6 are really good.
Just 5 is, it can either be between average, so average, or the farthest thing from average.
It's average
from average.
It's average to quite average.
You should give exact flight numbers.
Right, I should do flight numbers. This frittata is speed 8.
For all the non-disc golfers, they'd be like
7.
What? Also, for many disc golfers, they'd be like, what?
Oh, gosh. Oh, okay. So
I would say 1 to 5.
Yeah, we're doing.
Then you can do half stars if you want, half numbers. You can do whatever you want, man.
See, Benny says 1 to 10 gives you more to work with, but then it doesn't give you too much to work with. You know,
well, I mean, if you do half stars, then it gives you the exact same amount to work with.
This is true. So right, so like, if I used a scale of 1 to 10 and I said this is about a 5, is it the equivalent to if I used a scale of 1 to 5 and I said this is about a 3?
No, it's not equivalent.
Even though it's right in the middle?
No, it's not equivalent.
Why not?
Because math.
Show me. Work it out.
I don't want to do that right now.
Because
technically 5 is not perfectly between 1 and 10. It's perfectly between 0 and 10.
Okay, let's say I use this. So I'd have to use a scale of 0 to 10.
You would have to, but I'm just saying those aren't the same. Like 1 to 5, saying a 3 is right in the middle of 1 to 5. That's true because there's one number in between the other one. But 1 to 10, 5 is not directly in the middle. There are more numbers closer to 10 than there are to 1. Does that make sense?
No. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right.
Or wait.
Yeah,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there you go. Now I got it.
There you go.
We worked it out. Okay.
Math.
So if I did a scale of 0 to 10, and I rated it as 5, is that the same as rating it as 3 if I use a scale of 1 to 5?
Yes.
What if I said it's a 4, and then the other way I said it's a 7? Is that the same?
No. It'd have to be like 7.5. Use 1 to 5 and quit overthinking it.
Oh, yeah. All right, we are past our time. We're gonna pick our. We're gonna roll it. Here we go. Roll it on the Nightbot. Boom, boom, boom. Andy Endicott.
Nice, Andy.
Who's been subscribed since December 6, 2017. So a little under 2 years subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much for doing that. It pays to be a YouTube subscriber. Andy, I want you to take a screenshot of you being logged in to your YouTube account. Send it to Bobby, B-O-B-B-Y, at dynamitdiscs.com, and we'll work out how to get you a prize from my goodie bag.
Yeah. Oh, good questions here from Joey T.
Oh, we
with
got a
the
super chat.
He says 2 questions. Who do you think you are? What gives you the right? So
I know that I'm Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze. I run the podcast.
no,
So it gives me
no.
every
The
right.
answer is
Oh.
who do you think you are?
Oh, is this an office thing that I missed?
Toby.
Oh yeah.
That's correct. What gives you the right? Yeah.
Now I
Classic.
remember his exit
Classic.
interview.
Thanks for the super chat, Joey
Thanks
T.
you, Joey.
814. We appreciate it, man.
I missed that one.
I guess Joey T 814 sounds better. So we're
The
gonna
ledger.
roll with
No, it would have to be 2.5, right? Because that equals 50%. Oh,
You're doing it all wrong.
Fight it out. Legendary E and Robert McCauley.
Legendary E is my boy. He says I'm a very good putter, but 2.5 is between 0 and 5, not between 1 and 5.
I was never good at math, so I'm just going to go with it.
Never challenge.
Joey, is there anything else? You got some time left on your super chat. Let us know. Is that for the margaritas as well for Jeremy Rusco? If you watched yesterday's update, Jeremy Rusco said that he would have Jenny from Casa Ramos, Casa Ramos is a Mexican restaurant here, very good Mexican food. They serve Jenny margaritas. It's a little mix of a margarita that she makes. She puts a little fruit in there, a little bit of something special.
Awesome.
And he says he can guarantee he can get her to be here for our next update and serve us margaritas.
Wow.
That's
I
what
bet
he
she would
said.
do it. Dude,
That's what he said.
there is no telling how
What
many margaritas Rusco has had at Casa Ramos.
That's true.
Countless dollars
Oh, we had someone walk by.
spent on margaritas.
If you are at home,
Angelo says he gives this podcast 5 taco stars.
well, thank you. Out of 10 or 1 to 5?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta qualify that here.
Hey, Danny. Is that how is margarita supposed to be spelled that way?
Margarita.
At least like 60% sure.
Okay. That is not how actual margaritas are spelled. But I thought you might be making a joke on maybe how somebody else spelled it.
You thought maybe you misspelled it because you wanted to show
I didn't know.
other people were misspelled. All right, let's start with the show.
Let's do the show.
I've got my questions ready to go. Facebook is just exploding. I hope they have all their backup servers ready to go because we have a lot of topics to talk about.
41 comments? That's pretty.
41
That's
comments.
a lot for only being posted for a few minutes.
So, again, if Facebook goes down, it's probably our fault, and we apologize. We answered. There goes somebody else on the we're gonna call that the hall cam. If you in the chat, if you see someone walk through the hall cam, let us know in the chat. Oh, here comes somebody. There's Garrison. Garrison doing
Oh,
work.
here comes somebody. Let's do the show.
All right, let's do this show.
Dude, margarita is good pizza, by the way, Devin.
Oh, it is. It is very
Super
good. Now I'm
good.
hungry for pizza. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answerman. I am Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze, and I have with me Robert, the other golf, McCall.
Hello.
He likes to play the other golf, guys.
Yeah,
Don't be mad at him. It's okay. It's still a sport.
I don't like it more than disc golf. I just like that it's very challenging.
I don't know. You seem to be playing it more than disc golf, but I won't tell disc golf.
No, that's fine. I've definitely played more disc golf this year than golf, 100%. I've
anyway.
just played more golf lately.
So what is the secret to playing good golf?
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't know, but I shot an 82 yesterday, which is my personal best. Which
Nice.
was really cool.
Out at Muni?
I most of the time. All right, so I'm at the stage, and this may be you guys in disc golf, or maybe it's been you at some point, where where bogey feels like your par. Like if you get bogey on a hole, it's like, yeah, that's about right. You know, if you get a par, that feels really good. If you get a birdie, that's like awesome. Like you did something super good, and that's about where I live. We play on a par 71 course, so if I get 18 bogeys, I shoot 89, and that was the goal for the longest time, was just to shoot under 90. I was in the high 90s, then mid 90s, then kind of low 90s, and broke it once shooting 88, and then I've broken 90 probably 8 more times since, but I kind of live in that 90 to high 80 range. But yesterday I was just feeling pretty good. Had a couple of double bogeys, just didn't hit very good shots, but had lots of up and downs to save par, which was really cool. So yeah, 82. I told the guys I play with my goal by the end of the year was to shoot 81. But now I think I'm going to try
Care to make it interesting?
Yes. I 100% care to make it interesting.
I have no skin in the game.
You have no skin in the game because most people on here care nothing about golf, which is totally fine.
I don't believe that to be too true. Too true?
I don't know. Look, I will definitely make it interesting. I will say by the end of the year I'll shoot 79.
By the end of the year, you shot a what, 82?
82. But that's
only 3.
Well, yeah, but that's my best round by 3 shots up to that point.
So you're saying it's really it's 6 better. What's your average? Do you have an average?
I don't have like an official average. Like I don't have an official handicap.
What did
most
you
of the time? Most of the time I'm in between.
To the 82.
Most of the last time I played was 86. My best before that was 85. I shot 2 85s. Couple 86s, 87, couple 88s, 89. But most of the time, I'm in between like 88 and 93.
You shoot a 75.
75 is unattainable.
78.
Okay.
You shoot a 77.
I'm going to tell you, 79 probably won't happen.
77. And I will buy you and Shay Torchy's Taco. I'll give you a gift certificate. I won't even have to be there.
Nice. Interested.
77 by the end of the year.
Okay, so that is going to cost you about $25 or so.
Okay.
All right. Ish. Okay. If I don't shoot it by the end of the year, I'll buy you Torchy's Tacos because that's pretty good odds in my favor.
And Sebastian, you have to buy him pork rinds. He loves pork rinds. Probably the worst thing for him.
How much are the pork rinds?
Oh, it's like $2 at.
I accept.
Okay. $2 at Walmart. No, you're not going to buy him pork rinds because he eats too many anyway.
Okay. Well, we'll find something of similar monetary value.
And yes, someone says if he does shoot 77,
yeah,
then I have to go play a round of golf as well.
Oh my gosh.
And you guys can watch.
I'm super interested.
Nice.
Danny volunteers to come in video. Nice.
All right, so now we are.
But I am glad that you asked me what the secret is because if anyone knows, please tell me. I'd like to shoot 78.
Just read The Art of Golf.
I've read so many golf books, not for golf but for disc golf, but they help out in golf.
I just started reading at the short book Dale Carnegie's How to
Win Friends and Influence People. Yep.
I read it a long time ago, and they say it's one of those books that you want to read over and over again.
It's fantastic.
All right, so where was I getting at? Oh.
Hold on, Don M. I got you.
Junior Worlds. We just got back from PDJ Junior Disc Golf World Championships. What an amazing week. Obviously, you see Eric McCabe is not here. He's on assignment, taking care of some business. So it's just me and Robert McCall. Hopefully, Eric McCabe will be back next week or the following week or the week after that or that week after that. Anyway, PDJ Junior Worlds was amazing. We had 210 juniors out here registered and playing. We, of course, had parents and friends out here. It was hot. It wasn't as hot as last year, but it was hot. But what was even more hotter? Scores.
Kids were putting up. Can we clarify something real quick?
Yeah.
I have to shoot 78 or better. Correct?
77.
No, I didn't agree to 77. I agreed to 78.
Okay, 78.
Thank you.
But no queso and chips in. I'm teasing.
I almost cussed on air. Sorry, everyone.
We almost had to pull out the old bleep.
BS was in my head, but then I don't know. I got because come on, how can you not have chips and queso?
We got margaritas. We got cussing on disc golf answering. What's going on?
Okay. All right. Moving on. Junior Worlds. Sorry to interrupt.
So Junior Worlds was amazing, but the scores were hot. These young kids, the way they were just into disc golf. I mean, I'm not saying that a kid wouldn't be into disc golf, but to see adults and the people I see playing, them strategizing and picking out the right disc and shaping their shots, and then to watch someone that's 10 and 12 years old doing the same thing, it's just so cool. And their enthusiasm for disc golf was amazing. The camaraderie was
super cool.
Super cool to watch these kids cheering each other on. Really could use that a little bit more in disc golf. I'm not saying it's terrible, but every now and then it'd be kind of cool to have that more of that camaraderie within disc golf. But I understand it's competition. What was funny is though, now I don't know if I'm going to call him out. I'm not calling him out. It's not what a big deal. But Paul Uleberry was there. His girlfriend, of course, that he's dating, was here with her daughter, and he's got a close relationship with her, and he was coaching her along. I think it's really cool. So I was talking to Yuli for a little bit, and we laughed because at one point I had just kind of walked up, and there was a group of 10-year-olds. I can't remember what group his daughter, or not his daughter, but her daughter plays in. And anyway, they were kind of huddled around, and I was like kind of figuring out. They were talking about whether someone was OB, and they were taking a little bit of time and talking it out. And I kind of went to you and I said, "What's going on here?" And he looked at me and he said, "They're taking their time to make sure they get it right. I wish we'd do a little bit more of that."
It's true. 100%.
And I kind of laughed, and he, of course, laughed at it. But, I mean, there's some truth to it. I mean, they were taking time to figure out, make sure they got the right decision, working together to figure it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's not happening out there in the in big disc golf or pro disc golf. So
for sure. I want to say, speaking of the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Super awesome to watch all week. I think there are a couple of people who stand out on the pro level who do that really well. One of those won an 8th year this weekend, Kevin Jones.
Yeah.
In Estonia. He won the Estonian Open in, he shredded. He went 1071, 1023, 1024. So the last 2 rounds, not really great to his standards, but 1071 the opening day. He won by 1 over Ricky Wysocki. And he's always hyping up card mates. I met Kevin before he was like the big deal. It was like the year before, or the year that he went and played USDGC and played so well. And yeah, he's been like that since the beginning. So it's not an act or anything like that.
Yeah. He's
a real bro. And then Oakley is like that too. It seems like he's always hyping up people that he's playing with. If you watch videos, even when he's playing poorly, he's cheering on people's good shots and stuff. And he ended up getting second at Toonie Open.
Toonie Open.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out to those guys. Well done, gentlemen. You are good people to look up to in disc golf.
And this is going to seem very, very, very biased, but I don't care. But they're my family. They're my teammates. They're people I work with. I am so super proud of the team members from Dynamic Discs and Latitude 64 that came out here. Paige Pierce, Zach Melton, Jordan Castro, Chris Clemens, Emerson Keith. Am I missing anyone? Paige Bierkus. Grady Shue was here. Just being involved with the kids out early. I mean, I'm sure if you are tuned or you are subscribed to our channel, you heard the Paige Pierce. Oh, Ron Converse came out for a day as well.
Oh, nice.
But you heard Paige Pierce's interview on here, and I asked her, "Hey, can you come in early?" She goes, "Yes, but I want to make sure I'm out on the course. I want to watch a couple juniors." I mean, that's just how much they love watching these kids play sports. So yes, shout out to. And if you're from another manufacturer and you were out here and I happen to miss you, I apologize. But these are, of course, the people that I noticed that were out there, and I want to give them a shout out.
We got to be on the radio. I got to be on there with Paige Pierce and Paige Bierkus.
Yeah, that's actually, I grabbed the audio file, and that's going to come out on Thursday morning.
Oh, nice.
So if you're a subscriber, make sure you subscribe, because it will not be on YouTube, but it'll be on the audio subscription. So make sure on iTunes or Spotify or some of the other podcast apps you're subscribed, because that's going to come out so you can listen to the full audio.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically my first big break. So.
So after Thursday, it's going to be all over the world.
I'm probably out of here.
Right, so
golly.
It was
super fun, though. We had a great time. Those two did a great job.
All right, we are about halfway through the show, and we haven't got to any questions, so maybe
not halfway through the show.
Right. All right, I got to hit record on here, because I'm going to hit record on the video, because if you want to see or hear to our questions in small chunks, in other words, one question, one answer, go to DGAM Clips on YouTube and subscribe. I wonder if I should do that on, man, that'd be a lot more work, but I wonder if I can make a DGAM Clip audio show. And it would just be every day.
Every day.
Old questions.
We'll see.
All right, guys. Remember, as always, go to discgolffansman.com and put your questions in, and we will get to them halfway through the show.
Just a quick thing on the chat. Sean says fake PDGA was there too. Any insight to who it is?
I have an idea who it is based on what was said on there one day.
Yeah.
And what I had heard from the grapevine.
Yep. I now know who it is.
Yeah. So I am 98.79 in the half middle of 1 to 5%.
Yeah. I will say before this, I had 100% no idea. Would not have ever been able to guess.
Yeah.
Now I know.
All right.
But we will not spoil their secret.
Nope. First question comes from Anthony. Anthony.
So, dude.
He says, I played a course with my friend. You have friends? Oh.
God, hey, got to be a different Anthony.
I played a course with my friend where there was a random square of cement along the fairway. Someone's lie was on the concrete, and my friend called it OB. Is that the right call? Do random 4x4 squares of cement in the middle of a park count as OB, or does there need to be a hard set boundary for it to be called OB?
This is a weird one because sometimes you have those random concrete places in the middle of parks. Maybe they're under benches or under tables or something like that. I think if you're playing this in a tournament, the tournament director should certainly say something about it ahead of time and address that. But if you're just playing casually, I probably wouldn't call that OB if it was just like right in the middle of the fairway. Most of the time we use those concrete areas as like, rivers that you'd have to throw across or something. But in this situation, I probably wouldn't call it OB unless you guys decided ahead of time every little bit of concrete, whether it's road or in the fairway, is OB.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking if it's called OB from the beginning, it is what it is. But if it's not, then there's no set automatic thing that just because it's concrete that it's OB.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to hop over to Speak Pipe. Let me flip on the old audio for that. Make sure it's not too loud. And here we go. This one's from Ron.
Hello, Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze. Eric, the Truth, McCabe, and Robert, the Voice, McCall. This is Ron from Mountain Valley, Kansas. And first of all, Bobby, I am glad Sebastian is okay. I have a dog here. His name's Eddie, and I've had him for almost 13 years. If something happened to him, I would be absolutely devastated. Also, you love karaoke. Man, I used to love going out and sing karaoke, so we'll have to get together sometime, go sing some karaoke.
You better brush up on your Coldplay.
Or you can sing some Coldplay, and I'll sing something else. My question has to do with sponsorship. So I see a lot of the players, like the dynamic disc players and Discraft and Innova, and they all wear the company shirts and this and that. So I got to thinking about this now. Say during like the Las Vegas Challenge, especially when the women were playing, it was cold and it was actually snowing, I believe. Say Paige Bjerkes had pulled out a Minnesota Viking stocking cap to wear to keep her head warm. Would that be frowned upon? I don't know if like any kind of major league, professional apparel, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, if that would be frowned upon by Dynamic Disc or any of the other sponsors, or that would just be okay. Anyway, thank you guys for everything you do. Keep it real and grow the sport.
What you got, Robert?
No, I don't think that would be frowned upon. I think, our contract speaks to the player's attire. In extreme situations, like when it's really cold or all of a sudden there's like downpour, you got to do whatever you can to make sure that you're good to go. Now we get rain jackets to our players. We have beanies available to them, although a lot of times they don't use it. They don't play in super cold weather very often. But we want to make sure that they've got our logoed stuff. But if it got super duper cold and somebody wore a Vikings beanie, I don't think I'd really be that upset about that.
Someone asked on the chat, if you just tuned in, why is there a picture-in-picture of the warehouse? I just had the extra camera, so I set it up, and if somebody walks by, I have a sign that says wave. You're on Disc Golf Handyman, so nice. We'll see if anybody waves.
Ron would go to karaoke and dominate.
Oh.
He would hit him with I don't know who sings this country song, but it's the song that starts the lowest of any song ever, like the "Baby Lock Them Doors and Turn the Lights." That's the only song I can imagine him singing.
That or
he could crush that.
Some Barry Manilow.
Yeah. Or Barry White.
Or Barry White.
Play some music.
No, we're not going there. All right, next one comes from Rick.
Hey, Robert, Bobby, and Eric. Just a quick thought, more of a thought than a question, but I'd like to get your insights on it. Ever since the announcement came down about the 12 molds that were being discontinued, it seemed like the general consensus was that these were understable molds and therefore, not what pros throw, and that's why they're not selling. And that was kind of backed up also by Bobby's survey, but I think there's another contributing factor that might be overlooked, and the fact is that a couple of the molds were on the left side of the flight chart, the Criminal and the Slammer, and these are some of your most overstable molds. So my thinking is not maybe so much that these are understable molds and that's why they're not selling, but these are utility discs, whether they be the flippy type on the right side for rollers and anhyzers, or if they tend to be, your skip discs and your thumbers and your Spikeyser type discs on the left. So I think that may have more of a contributing factor in the fact that these things aren't selling as much as the things down the middle of the flight chart, where people carry 5, Raiders or Escapes or Convicts or, 20 EMACs in the case of EMAC. The ones on the outsides of the flight chart, you tend to only need one copy in your bag. So I'd like to get your thoughts. And with that, I know, Robert, you don't have a disc yet, and I know the Warden is your guy, but you also love that slammer. And to keep the slammer around, I would love to see a Robert McCall signature Lucid X slammer. How sweet would that be in that ice clear plastic with a ghost stamp? So think about it.
I got some bad news for you, Rick. I took the slammer out of my bag a few months ago.
What? I still have the slammer in my bag. Of course, it's a Sebastian slammer, so I got to keep it.
Honestly, it was because I started throwing the Cetus. I liked that I could get a little bit more glide out of the Cetus, but not a ton. Right now, I have both a Cetus and a harp. I mostly just throw the harp for forehands. But to me, those discs are kind of interchangeable. I wouldn't want to throw a Cetus on forehand, but if I had to, it'd be fine. But I think there might be something to his idea that the discs on either side of the spectrum, very overstable or very understable, people just don't get as many of because you just don't need them that often. I don't know.
No, I mean, they're one of the reasons or one of the theories that we have why some of the discs that were retired is because you usually buy one or two and then that's all you need. Because you don't normally lose it, because the odds of you losing it are smaller because you aren't throwing it as much. So I would say there is some weight to what he had to say for sure.
Yeah.
And as a reminder, just because a mold retired doesn't mean it's disappeared. We didn't sneak into your room and grab a taco and grab that retired disc and pull it out of your bag. It's still in your bag. The Renegades I threw on Sunday flew just as great as they did before the announcement was made. And the Renegades sitting in my closet that are my backups are still going to fly just as good. So, don't think that you have to abandon a mold and find a replacement today because we're not producing them. It just means that we're not producing them, and so you'll see inventory kind of slowly go down.
Well, two things. One, it would be kind of awesome if when we retired molds, that meant that thieves came into your house to just steal all of them. Can't use this anymore. The second thing is a couple of people in the chat here. Ace Run said, seriously, we just got an EMAC stamp warden. Where are the McCall wardens? So let's set the record straight.
Right.
EMAC is a world champion, and he has made custom runs of discs since forever. A bunch of EMACs, enforcers, wardens, judges, almost name it. He's had a custom run that he's put together, and he has that privilege because he's a world champion. That's kind of one of his things. I could make wardens, but I would just have to kind of custom order them, like if you were to custom order discs for a tournament that you were running. Or if you do like what Danny did and have a mustache stamp. Those are just like sort of custom orders. I have definitely thought about making some custom discs before, so I don't know.
I've thought about making it. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat and in the comments if you're listening to this audio. Go to Facebook. See if you let us know if you'd buy a McCall. What would you put on it though?
I don't know yet. I mean, I've talked to the graphics guys upstairs when this sort of stuff has come up, but we haven't come up with any like really good ideas. The problem is I don't just want to like sign it and then throw them out there because nobody cares about that. But I also don't want to just put a profile of my hair up there because I feel like that's been done. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd have to figure something out.
I've been thinking about making some Cool Daddy SlickBreeze just with my my logo.
Yeah.
Turn that into a stamp and see if people would do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing is like we probably wouldn't sell these through dynamicdiscs.com.
No, they would have
probably
to
just be from us, right. Like on Facebook or via the show or something like that.
A taco wearing glasses with perfect hair.
I'm interested.
Oh, people have walked past the camera. I missed them. Dang it. All right, let's get with the question. This one's from Noah.
What's up, DGAM fam?
So
this
sorry.
is Noah from Minnesota, and I have a question about tournaments. So I played in my first PDGA tournament last weekend, and I went out for a practice round the day before, and I shot a 63 on the course. I felt good. I was trying to put pressure on myself to simulate what it would be like in a tournament, try to keep in the zone during practice, to prepare for the tournament the next day. And I came out the next day and shot 8 strokes worse on just a one-rounder, 18-hole. And I didn't even feel that bad about my play. I just somehow ended up playing way worse. Any recommendations as far as how to go about attacking this, or just things I should do mentally, ways to recover, so I can go on to the next tournament and hopefully do better? Thanks for what you do for the sport, and as always, keep it real.
Nice, Noah. There are a couple of different ways to attack practice rounds, and I'll tell you about the way that I've seen Eric Oakley do it, and he got it from Eagle McMahon. Is what they'll do is go out to the round, like the course that they're going to play. They play 2 tee shots off every tee, play those tee shots out, and then keep score as they go. And that kind of gives them usually a reasonable idea of what they should be looking to shoot, because it's not just like playing from your best drive, playing the putts that you make, everything like that. You're actually playing 2 full rounds out. I don't like to go in with any expectations of what I'm going to shoot. So especially, it's different for like our local courses. Like when we go play Monkey Island, you know, I have an idea of what I'd like to shoot out there because I played Peter Pan a whole bunch of times. But if we, like when I went to USDGC, I would just throw shots and then just try and figure out the spot I wanted to be. And when I did practice putt, normally it wasn't from the lie that I threw from, because I don't want to set an expectation like, oh, if I'm not 2 under by this point, I'll be disappointed. If I'm not 5 under by this point, I'll be disappointed. Because like the only way that really goes well is if I'm shooting better. If I'm shooting worse, it feels like, man, that's not very good. But maybe that spot where I would like to be 2 under, maybe I'm even, and so I think, okay, now I have to push. That's no good either. So what I like to do is just throw my shots, try and figure out the best way to get to the spot that I want to, and then just accept what happens from there. That's really all I try to do. So this isn't lower your expectations. It's work on setting different goals maybe. Instead of saying, I want to shoot a 63, say, I want to find my landing zones. And then you can improve on that. I want to make 95% of my putts inside the circle. Those are things that you can keep up with. But I don't think it really helps to say, okay, if I don't shoot 63, it will have been a failure. Because then all you're thinking is failure in 63, you know? Like, you're only going to shoot worse most of the time there. There you go.
Got it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Guys, real quick, give us a share. Share on YouTube. Share the video out and let people know that you're watching the Disc Golf Answer Man so we get some more people tuned into here. We are at 188. If we get to 200, I'll do a giveaway. JD, first of all, Bobby, please read your names with the voice changer, okay? They asked for it. Oh, God, that's loud.
Brutal.
Oh, you're on, too. Hold on. This isn't my favorite one.
While you get that figured out, Nels Ryson in $1 super chat. Thanks for the super chat.
Thanks. Hello, Bobby, Eric, Robert, Danny, and Anthony. There you go, JD. That was just for you. Thanks for all your hard work.
How dare you, JD?
I just have a short question. Do you have any news about the creator of MindBodyDisc.com? I love this blog, but it seems that this project died. Keep up the good work. I always listen to the new episode on my way to work on Spotify. Greetings from Germany. I hope you will come here someday in the future. I would love to come to Germany. I've never been to Germany, so that would be a fantastic trip to take.
Yeah, man.
So Tim was his name from MindBodyDisc.com, and he tried to see if he could make blogging and stuff like that lucrative, but he was unable to, just for different reasons, and he decided to, I believe it's a business with his dad, and part of the business was doing drone stuff, real estate drone stuff. I know this because I did a drone video, and he reached out to me and said that he was doing drone stuff, and he had some advice for me to get better pictures on my drone.
Like don't back into trees?
Yeah. That was fun. And so he should have found me after the first one, not the third one. But anyway, so I know he was doing that. Now that was like at least a year ago. So I don't know what he's up to. Might be a good idea for me to just say hi to him to see how things are going with, because he was putting together some really good blog articles. So they're still out there. mindbodydisc.com. Check that out. Next question. Let's go back to SpeakPipe. This one is from Ryan. We're going to check the audio so we don't blow speakers on people. And here's Ryan.
Hello, Disc Golf Answerman crew. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Had a question in regards to the Great Lakes Open that occurred this past weekend. Many players expressed their opinion on it not being the smoothest ran tournament this weekend, and I understand tournaments will have its hiccups and things come up that they can't necessarily control and have to work around. But following a couple of the players during round one, they were stating how every day when they came out for their practice round, the course had different things tweaked to it. Pins being put in their correct positions, OB being added to certain holes. In fact, the evening before the first round, there's videos of Paul Macbeth helping set up rope for OB and painting lines and things like that, as well as other players. While I understand things come up that's out of your control, I was under the impression that the course was supposed to be set up as it is going to be played for the tournament in advance more than just the evening before. How is that all supposed to work? Thanks for everything you guys do, and have a great day.
All right, so I don't want to a dog another tournament, because although the Glassman Open and many other events that we run are very well run events, we're not perfect. We've had our mistakes. We've had our misinformation in the caddy book. We've had the wrong information. We've had to make changes to our courses based on something that happened, weather or something like that. So we're definitely not perfect. So I don't want to be the cast the first stone type thing.
Right.
However, there are certain standards that PDGA has. I don't. Robert is looking them up, but I know there's specific standards for how many days before an event the course has to be in the ground and set as far as OBs and stuff like that before, so that it is a fair practice for everybody that comes to play the course. Obviously, the course does need to be set up and ready to go. It should not be changed right prior to actual competition. So I don't know all the circumstances. I just obviously only know Facebook hearsay, what I read. So anyway, what are the specifics, Robert?
Yeah, so this is on pdga.com under the Tour Standards link, and this is under miscellaneous. It says courses are required to be set up for the first round configuration a minimum of 3 days prior to the start of the event for National Tour Elite Series events, and 1 day prior to the start of the event for A-tier events. For World Championship events, courses must be set no less than 4 days in advance of the start of the event. For other majors, no less than 3 days from the start of the event. In the case of temporary holes or where courses are unavailable, the temporary configuration must be clearly marked for both the tee and target locations. So even if this was a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, so it technically is still an A tier, though it's considered in a different tier than everything else. This would have had to be set at least 1 full day in advance. And from what I understand, and this is, like you said, a little bit of this is hearsay and a little bit of it is just talking to people who are at the event or who know about it, it sounds like, okay, so Disc Golf Pro Tour does a certain thing, right? They bring signage and they bring their trailer and all that stuff. They've got this stuff. Then they have local people who actually run the tournament, who are the tournament director. Right. If you think of Waco Annual Charity Open, Ryan Draper is the tournament director. He gets the course into shape, everything into position. Disc Golf Pro Tour comes and puts up their advertisements and sets up the Festival of the Flying Discs, things like that. And I think there was just a little bit of miscommunication on who was in charge of what portion. So,
I hadn't heard this.
Yeah, so I think that maybe the tournament director of the event thought that Pro Tour was going to do something. The Pro Tour thought that the tournament director was going to do something. And it sounds like it was a miscommunication on their part. I think that's the nicest version of the story, and it's really the only one that I know.
Okay.
There could be a worse version where the tournament director didn't care, but I know nothing about that. This is the one that I know about.
All I heard was that it happened. I hadn't heard any of the
It
context
happened.
around it. So, but yeah, so yes, there are certain standards that need to be followed. Now, whether there are repercussions because they weren't followed, that's not our call to make.
And it remains to be seen.
Right. All right, so we are at 2:01, so we're going to give something away. So I'm going to go to Nightbot, and we're going to give away this for our YouTubers. I'll have something special for our audio subscribers, and that brings up a good segue.
Ooh, nice.
So what this means is that a while back I used to I can't remember what I called it, but we're going to call it subscriber giveaways, and I think that's what I called it before because it was such an ingenious name. Is that
who are you giving the things away to?
What do you mean?
Like when you were doing those subscriber giveaways?
To only to listeners. So in other words,
to only subscribers.
Right, because how it works. Here's how it works: is that I would record something and I would say, okay, guys, go to discgolfanswerman.com/subscribers and answer one survey question, and then give me your name and email, and then that would give us stuff to talk about. But then, as a thank you, you were eligible to win prizes. But the only way you knew about it is if you were subscribed. I wouldn't post it on Facebook. I wouldn't post it on the website. Only way you would know is if you were subscribed, and it would expire. Like it would have 24 hours, and then that message would be gone. So you'd have to be subscribed and on the ready to do that. So I'm going to start that again, and I may hint do one this week. So make sure you are subscribed. Okay, so back to the YouTube though. I want you to put in the words. Let's see if people how fast they can spell out one word, multiple words making one word. Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
Ooh, nice. Cool Daddy Slick Breeze is our keyword. And you need it. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
We're set. We're set. Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. Throw that in the chat. How many minutes are we giving them?
Let's do this question and then we'll come back. This is from PP, Deputy PP. How do you say Benyami Pesonon? Pesonon.
Benyami Pesonon.
Benami Pesonon. Here we go.
Benyami.
Benami.
Hello, Disco Fanswerman. This is Benjamin Pesonen from Finland, and today I have a quick question for you guys. I got my hands finally on a Lucid Deputy, and man, I just love this disc.
Yeah,
I've been searching for one for a while,
do.
and finally someone in Finland had one, and it's with the sweet whale pants logo. Shout out to Eric and Tina.
Nice.
And by the way, it was nice to meet them at Tuni. They're such a nice people and so awesome human beings, and no wonder they're in your team.
Oh yeah.
But let's talk about the Deputy. I was wondering that since this is such a great disc and it flies so beautifully, it like holds every line I put it on, and it's a perfect turnover disc. It's not too understable, but it just holds the lines. So I was wondering that how come this a good disc like this, how come you don't have it in Lucid plastic? Because I know Deputy is a popular disc, but I was wondering that is this a manufacturing problem or something, or why don't you have Lucid Deputies? Thanks. Cheers.
So a lot of times, and someone asked in the YouTube chat, and I'll clarify, why are we typing my moniker into the chat?
I quite like the word moniker.
I just think it sounds cool. My moniker. It's because if you type it in, you are automatically eligible to win a disc that I'm about to give away as soon as I answer this gentleman's question. So why don't we have Lucid Deputies? I don't know.
Next question.
I mean, we've had them as tournament fundraisers and stuff like that. And sometimes that's what we do when we have a disc and it's semi-popular, but we're not. We're like, well, should we put it in this plastic? Should we put it in a premium plastic? Let's make it a tournament fundraiser, and if it does really well, boom, we'll do it. So that's not the only reason. That's sometimes the reason. Sometimes we may just feel like it's not going to sell very well as a premium plastic. So we don't. So I don't know if there's a specific reason. I don't know the specific reason why behind the Lucid Deputy.
Is that how you always say it?
Deputy. The Lucid Deputy.
The Lucid Deputy.
So I don't know. I mean, have you heard anything, a specific reason why no Lucid Deputy?
No, and I think
Deputy.
I think there's for the TFR only discs, for the tournament fundraiser discs, part of the reason that we put discs in that spot is to make those tournaments
that one more special.
Yeah,
right?
more highly sought after.
Yeah.
Right?
We're trying to help you out. Help us help you.
Yeah.
Help us help you.
As long as you are the tournament directors, that's who we're trying to help out in this, situation. But really, yeah, it's just to try to get some more attention to your tournament. I've heard not a whole lot, but people will know if a certain tournament has a certain disc that's a TFR disc, they're more likely to want to attend that tournament because they know that they can only really get that there. So yes, agreed. The Lucid Deputy is a fantastic throwing putter. Definitely one that I would try out if I wasn't throwing Wardens. But if you are looking for one of those that that you can find on a more regular basis, Moonshine Deputies are a thing. You might check those out. But for the time being, they're just tournament fundraisers. So when you see them at tournaments, scoop them.
All right. Now we are done with that questions. We're not going to give away. We're going to roll it.
Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
And roll it. Wait, let me see how many. Did it say how many? Nope. Roll it. BatJack79, been a subscriber since October 14th, 2018. So not quite a year with us. Thank you so much, Bat Jack. Do it again. Oh, is that not it?
No, I don't think that's it.
No, I thought maybe that was it. So anyway, so Bat Jack, why don't you get logged in, which you should be since you're watching. Log into your YouTube and send me a screenshot of you being logged in, and I will see if I can figure out how to get you a disc. We had 82 eligible users on that one.
Philip said Coolio Daddy Slicky Breezes.
I like where your head's at, but
almost got it,
but didn't quite get you entered into the contest. All right, let's go back to the questions. This one's from, I don't know if I want to say the name.
No, you do not.
All right. Hey, Bobby, awesome father, smooth wind, and Robert, stop kissing your wardens, McCall and Eric. I have so much respect for you to give you a. I have too much respect for you to give you a crappy nickname.
Okay.
Nice. So that means, in a sense,
first of all, you're going to want to bring some respect over
right,
here.
Exactly.
Also, Wardens and I are in a relationship, so you shouldn't judge what we do.
SPECT.
Yeah. That's another
That's
office
what it
one.
means to me.
RESPCT. Find out what it means to me.
I finally switched to all trilogy, and you know what? I love it. Now, some of you are probably thinking this is a promotional question. No, we don't ask for these type of questions. People just love our stuff. When they try it, they
so
love
back
it.
off. RESPCT.
See, what it means to me. I bag all trilogy and I feel cool. Before I bagged other brands and felt uncool. We get it. We understand. God. It's funny. It's kind of a syndrome out there that's going on. So it'll be cool. Just bag trilogy. Now to my question. I bag compasses and I don't get the distances I want out of them. The feel is good, but I need more distance. What discs should I try?
Well,
man, it was a long time to get to that question.
It really was. If you like the feel of a compass, but you're looking for something with a little bit more distance on it, I mean, Eric's not here, but I'll say it for him. The EMAC Truth generally flies a little bit farther than the compass. It's going to be a little bit shallower compared to the compass, but as far as overall feel, I think they're relatively close to one another. If you're looking for something that maybe flies like a compass but just goes a little bit farther, I would recommend that you check out the Explorer from Latitude 64. That's a fairway driver. It's not going to feel like that, but I really like the Explorer for really super straight shots that either finish just a little bit left or that you can force a little bit to the right. But if you're looking for a mid-range, and honest to goodness, and I'm not even saying this because of Eric, though I'm sure he'd be pleased that we were, the EMAC Truth is a super fast-flying mid-range. One other that you might check out,
lots of Clyde. It
feels a little bit different in the hand than a compass, is the Warship. The Warship, I think, probably goes even farther than the EMAC Truth. Some people love it. Some people can't really get the hang of it, but if you're looking for more distance, that's a good one to try out.
Backjack, what's his name?
Batjack
1, and he says, "Good thing I'm watching at work."
Nice.
Glad I'm watching at work. Say hello to your boss.
We won't.
Yeah. Tell him I said hey. Tell him I said yo. Next question. Let's do one speak pipe. This is from Jeff from Rochester.
Hello, Mr. McCall, E-Mark, and Barbie. I run a match play league, and I'm looking to run a match play tournament. And I was just curious if you guys had any opinions on how I can change the course layout either with OBs or mandatories or changing pin locations to help facilitate that risk reward factor that sets match play apart from traditional stroke play, or if it should even bother making any course changes if the course is already well designed. Thanks.
I mean, if they're well-designed course, to me, match play just adds that little bit of difference to it. I mean, I know that when match plays really get going in here in Emporia, in the Facebook group and Emporia group, they really get into it. In fact, some of the players will go live while other players are going just for us to be able to catch what's going on. And a lot of times people are surprised, like, who beat who? Who? That guy beat that guy? Oh, that guy's got to be so mad, because match play, that just can happen. So to me, it's added. Now, if you just absolutely, the only one suggestion I can think of is, and could you make, of course, I don't know how your course is designed, but could you make hole 1's tee pad throw to hole 3's basket? I mean, that's something you could do differently. Will that mess things up? Maybe for the whole thing, but that's one way to do it. I don't know if you could make, if you can move pins around. I don't know how your course is. You can move pins around. Or the baskets around, or simply make temporary tee pads. In other words, if you got concrete tee pads, maybe go 20 feet to the left and 5 feet back and just put 2 flags, and that be a temporary tee pad, and that'll change it up a little bit.
Yeah, one of the cool things about match play is that as long as the two competitors competing agree on the course, it doesn't really matter if it's the same course as everybody else, because they're the two competing. Scores don't really matter. It's just one-on-one, one person wins. If it's a well-designed course, I wouldn't mess with it, though. It's like you said, Bobby. You said, like, who beat who. I've played in match play events before where I've beat people I had no business beating, and where I got beat by people who I beat on the reg. I think match play is just its own thing, and it's really cool. So, I wouldn't mess with it.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
I saw
Allison must have walked by the hall cam, and apparently it freaked her out for a second. I was hoping it'd get a few people. Did you guys see that in the YouTube chat? Let me know if you saw Allison walk by. By the way, Allison is a salesperson extraordinaire.
Yeah.
She's very good at her job. So if you are a retailer and you want to get that personal help, it's a good help for your store, make sure you look up Allison and give her a call. Yes, I agree with everything you just said.
Sweet. You remember what I said?
Oh, but
All right, let's just keep it moving.
That's what it's from saying.
Hey, what's up, DJM crew? I had a couple questions for you. First of all, I wanted to say that I absolutely love your guys' show. Actually went back and listened to all the old stuff to pre-Robert McCall days, and got all caught up. I personally am somebody who throws nothing but Innova just due to the fact that it's available. And that brought me to my first question. Why does Dynamic Disc not have like a factory second version like Innova does? Is it because you grind them up? And I think it's the biofusion where you just grind down old discs to inject new ones, so there's no real, nothing that can't make it to the shelves because you can reuse that. For me, that was one of the biggest allures going to Innova. Was I was able to pay $6 for brand new base plastic, $10 for Champion, which would be Lucid, and for me that helped me build my bag on a budget. Also allowed me to try a bunch of different molds to see which ones I liked. That being said, I know eventually I'm going to be picking up a Warden, an EMAC Truth, trying to figure out what I would do to complement my T-Bird. That's my go-to fairway driver. Then my second question.
Shane, thanks for checking our brands out. We really appreciate that. Yes, our reprocessed or grinded up plastic is going to be your Biofusion for Dynamic Discs, your Retro for Latitude 64, No, I got that way wrong.
Reprocessed for Latitude.
And what is it for Westside?
I don't remember.
Oh my God, what is that? Biofusion for us.
Recycled for Latitude.
Recycled, that's what it is. The other ones are the prime and the more base plastic. So I apologize. Right. So reprocessed, recycled, and Biofusion. That is our where we take if they have a batch that didn't do so good, they put it in what they call the green monster. It grinds it up and they just reuse it. second part of his question
was, as far as PDGA goes, I know you're saying you need 9 holes, or excuse me, 12 to 13 holes for a PDGA sanctioned event. If you have a 9-hole course and you just run it through twice, being a total of 18 holes, can that be a PDGA sanctioned event? And if so, we have a mini league that plays there every Tuesday night. Could we actually get these rounds to be sanctioned? Thanks, guys. Keep it real.
So I don't know the exact ins or out, but I have seen events that were sanctioned, and you could run through the course twice. If it was a 9-hole.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, you can do that.
We've even worked it out with the PDJ. Now I don't know if this is special because we're dynamic discs or it's Class 1 Open, but we have what's called XC tiers, and that's where they throw their discs twice on a hole.
2 shots off. If you're playing a 9-hole course, you throw 2 tee shots off of each tee, put out both. You write down 2 scores, and by the end you have an 18-hole round.
Yeah.
One other thing about what Shane was saying earlier, we offer misprints on our website as well.
Oh yeah.
It's just some of the ones that might have normally been around factory second type stuff get reprocessed or reground, but we still have those available on the website, so you should check them out.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right, well, I think we have about time for no. All right, well, how long have we been? Oh no, we've got plenty of time. This one's from Houston Wolf. Hey guys, I just found out about your podcast and pretty much listen to it every day on the drive to work now, and
Nice.
I love the different areas of the game you discuss, especially tacos. No, I put that in. I saw quite a while back you guys talked about hyzer flip versus anhyzer for distance, and you guys said you preferred hyzer flips. I prefer that also, and I feel like my best part of the game is throwing far around 450 to 550. Wow. But recently I've seen some pros crush it. Was farther with the Anheuser Flex. Are they just freaks?
Yes. Yes, most certainly they are. Yeah. The biggest distance lines, like open field, desert distance lines, most of the time are something pretty darn understable thrown on hyzer up, way up in the air, that then acts like a big anhyzer that flexes out. But for pure distance, if you watch somebody throw something pretty overstable, like if you think about somebody like Garrett Gurthey, right? He's got unbelievable power. He can throw really overstable discs on anhyzer and have them hold a lot longer than you and I. And so that's one of the reasons that he can do that, is he just generates incredible spin on the disc. It's kind of 6-1, half dozen the other on if you want to throw for big distance lines, if you want to throw hyzer flip or anhyzer. It's some people have a much more natural anhyzer release. Some people have a more natural hyzer release. As long as you have the right disc to do what you want to, there are pros and cons for both. But I wouldn't, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't try and force yourself to learn the big anhyzer flex if you're already good at throwing the hyzer flip for long flex rounds, or long flex shots, pardon me.
Got it. Next one comes from Mike L.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is Mike from Michigan with a question for Bobby. Oh, I'm going to keep it real. Cool Daddy CoolDaddySlickBreeze.
Oh, here we go.
Eric, I wish I could play more disc golf, but I really love designing courses, McCabe. And Robert, I am loving life at 1,000 rated McCall.
I am.
I was just listening as I was driving into work to one of your more recent episodes. This is not a time-sensitive question, but gentleman asked a question about the AVR 3. Well, I have every piece of plastic in my bag is Trilogy at this point. I've been working on getting there, except for one disc, and that's the AVR X3, which I refer to as old reliable. It just always does what I need it to do. And I'm curious if you guys have a recommendation, and the Trilogy lineup doesn't have to be just dynamic discs, that would have a feel in flight similar to the X3. Because if there is something, I'm more than happy to replace it to go 100% Trilogy plastic. But I got to have something that has that feel in flight like the X3. So if you could let me know your thoughts, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right.
So I'm going to keep it real.
Okay.
All right. And I've said this before, and I just want to reiterate, because a lot of times people get picked on when they say, I want to go all certain brands. If you throw one of our discs, I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm glad that you've done it, whether you saw a commercial of ours, you threw one of ours, you saw, or you listened to the Disc Golf Answer Me, you appreciate what we do, and you bought one disc, that's awesome. If you buy more than one disc, I'm even more happy. If you fill your bag, I know I will eat tomorrow. So that is tremendous.
Tacos, probably.
Tacos. A tremendous thing, and I think that's awesome, and I appreciate that. So, but if you throw everything but that one disc, you're still good to go with me. But now let's replace it. What do you got?
On to your question. All right, so the AVR X3, for the ones that I've felt, are relatively shallow and pretty overstable. They remind me a lot of like a Discraft Zone or something like that. The closest thing that we're going to have, I think, feel-wise, is going to be either a Suspect or a Harp, though the Harp's going to be a little bit deeper, I'm pretty sure. The Suspect is more of a mid-range. Yeah, it'll go a little bit farther than the other ones, but I think it's going to have a feel a little bit closer to the AVR X3, but it's a larger diameter disc than the AVR X3 is. Yeah, I would try either the Slammer or the Harp. I like the blend, like the medium plastic in both of those.
Perfect. Next one is, did I do that right? Pound Hall Cam?
That is not a pound sign.
I mean, exclamation.
Mm-hmm. Exclamation is correct.
Pop 3? Only 3 people? I thought more than that. Next one is
Well,
Ryan.
there is more. We just haven't typed it in every time somebody's walked by.
Mr. Man Crew, hope you're having a fantastic day. I've been keeping up with all your posts on Junior Worlds, and it looks like a fun, exciting week.
It was.
So hopefully my question today is a tough one for you.
Uh-oh.
Which week leaves you more gratified by the end of it? Glass Blown Open week or Junior Worlds week?
Ooh.
Thanks for everything you guys do, and have a fantastic day.
Good question. I hate to be like not cliche, but take the easy way out, but it's different.
Yeah, they're different.
They're different. I tell you what, though, there is okay, so this is going to sound maybe egotistical or whatnot, but I don't care.
It's a good start.
No, it's because this is what I do. This is my work. This is my job. This is my career. I've made it my life, producing content. And so when people come to Glass One Open, and they're like, man, we just listened to you, Robert and Eric, on the way here on this latest podcast. I'm like, that's awesome. Or I saw that video that was so funny, or love what you guys do. I love Danny's Physics of Flight. I love Anthony getting out there and doing disc reviews. I love that. It makes me, it's gratifying because that's what I do, right? But Junior Worlds Week, when an 8-year-old comes up to me and says, I love that chocolate commercial, that Chocolate Truth commercial you did, or the I like cake thing you did. Video. When I have a young kid, when I have a parent,
I like cake.
I like cake. When I have a parent tell me that my 10-year-old makes us watch that over and over again, that's just cool.
Come on, man, it's cool.
That's just cool.
I mean, I agree. I think I am more exhausted after Glass Blown Open.
Oh, without a doubt.
There are more people here during Glass Blown Open.
By 1,000 more?
I was going to say probably like two or three times.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something special about watching juniors compete because you're watching the future. Like if you go and watch look at some of Zach Arlinghouse's scores from this last week. The kid is unbelievable. And he just turned 16 years old. He's a lefty. He also throws righty forehand. And he averaged probably 10-20 on the week. I had a good friend who has been a touring professional, is still a really good pro player. His name is Miles Seaborn. If you haven't heard of him, you should go check him out. He's very, very talented. He texted and said, I don't know if I would have won Junior Worlds this year. Truly. And I believe that for a lot of people. These kids just played unbelievably well. Can I tell a quick side story? It'll be very quick.
You have 30 seconds. Go.
Before the event started, I took Zach Arlinghouse and Zach Melton. We went to play Jones East. They're going to play the shorts because that's the course that Zach Arlinghouse played.
Yeah.
I asked what he shot there last year. He said 49. I had just shot a 46 from the longs, which was very good for me, probably my best round out there. So I was feeling good the day before. So I said, okay, Zach Arlinghouse, I don't care what Zach Melton shoots, whatever.
Nobody cares.
If you shoot 48 or better, I'll buy your lunch today. Or if you beat me straight up, I'll buy your lunch today. And I shot a 48. Didn't have my best day, but okay. Zach shot a 40.
Wow.
A 40. Dude was just shredding. Honest to goodness, I think it probably would have been rated 1070.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. And so, yeah, to watch those sorts of guys play and just to see how good they are so young, it's cool to know those guys are coming up. I mean, you're going to, like, Zach has already played some of the bigger pro events. He was at Ledgestone. He was at one before, Deglow before that. He's going to be at Idlewild. He plays Idlewild quite often. But, yeah, guys like that at Junior Worlds, there's just no substitute for that. Like, we've seen Eagle throw huge shot after huge shot. We've seen that from McBeth. We've seen that from all those top guys. And it's still incredible to watch, but to watch it from someone who's 16 years old is like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I better get my good rounds in before these guys are playing with me,
No kidding. Yes, Junior World is just different. And Paige Pierce was walking around too, and she said something. I can't remember what I can't remember. She said that they don't have a filter yet, or they don't have their something to do with the innocence of a child, or the it's just when everybody does a good shot, everybody cheers and everybody is happy. Now I know that happens. I'm not saying that everybody, all the adults and pros in disc golf are just bah humbug. I mean, there's people that say good shot, but man, everybody is celebrating when somebody does a good shot when these kids are playing, and I just think that's cool. It makes for a cool feeling. All right, 2 more questions we got. This one's from Barry.
Golf Answer Man crew, this is Barry from Indiana. It was great getting to talk to Robert again at the Ledgestone, and that leads me to my question. I met my friend at the Westwood course at 7 a.m. on Thursday morning, which was the day before the tournament started. Hole 4 is the big hyzer around the hillside and then straight up the hill to the basket. My drive landed on the middle of the hill, and as I took my first step towards my disc up the steep hillside, there was a very loud pop in my left calf, and down I went. My tournament was basically over before it even began. I had to decide, do I throw away the 3.5-hour drive, money for hotel for 4 days, and cost of the tournament and DNF, or do I try to hobble through the weekend the best I could and end up at the bottom of my division and watch my rating, which was at an all-time high at the time, go in the tank? So I decided to try and play for my first 3 rounds. I shot 45 points, 59 points, and 61 points below my rating. Fortunately, my rating only dropped 5 points. But my question is, should there be another alternative for a player who gets injured right before a tournament? I realize the hotel costs are gone, but maybe registration refund to not play or transfer registration fee to the following year? What are your thoughts? And if this has happened to any of you, what did you do? Thanks. Keep it real.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can empathize with you, and I'm sure that sucks. But no, there's just for one, I would be afraid somebody would maybe take advantage of that.
Right.
At what point do you say what injury level counts? A broken leg, a bad headache, a cold. So at what point will you say
my fingernails too
right?
short.
Yeah, I broke a nail. What? At what point?
We're not saying that you did that, of course.
No. Absolutely. I'm not insinuating that you did that. But to answer your question, I just think there would be too much of a
gray area.
The fine line has to be. No, it doesn't matter what happens to you. In a sense of that way, you have to DNF. So
yeah, there's not much of a way around it.
It stinks.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Maybe transfer your entry fee to the next year, maybe, but then I don't know. That's just a whole lot of facilitation for a year for those funds to just be sitting somewhere. Like tournament directors want to have they open their books to start the event, get all the registrations, make all the payout, then close your books, move on to the next thing. So yeah, super sympathize with you. I've injured myself right before a tournament. I ended up playing as well, and it was the last tournament that I played before I got knee surgery. And I played fine there. It wasn't very good. It was just whatever. But I feel you. It sucks, man. It really sucks.
She walked by again. Someone said, "Did Allison walk by again?"
She did, yeah.
Oh,
We got one more speak pipe. You think we can get it?
Got one more. Jezzer?
Yep.
The GAM fam, this is Jezzer.
Yeah, nice.
Just want to let you know that I love throwing putters off the tee. Yesterday I was playing Zilker Park with my cousin in Austin and just basically parking, most of the front nine with my Moonshine Maiden. My question is, how often do you guys throw off the tee with your putters? And how often do you guys practice each week with just throwing putters in a field? All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Throwing putters off the tee a lot. I mean, if it's a hole that's wide open and anything under about 300-ish, I'll take Warden all day. I love throwing something that spins slower, and it's just easier to control.
I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I think there's some holes maybe I could get away with it, but I need to find another. The Deputy will just turn too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
you need something a little
now,
bit more
for some
stable.
shots, turning the Deputy turning is good, but for a general need to be a straight shot, putter shot, I need to throw. I was throwing the Warden for a little bit, but I got to admit, just the feel of it, for some reason, it feels like it catches onto my finger.
Yeah, I mean, different putters do that for different people.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
I think I got to find something different, but I probably should find a good throwing putter.
Yeah, but I mean, then if we go to a course like Hammond, I throw a putter off of almost every tee. But if we play Jones East, I'd probably throw a putter off of 3 tees. I don't know, maybe even fewer than that.
Why are you choosing the putter over a mid or a driver?
If the distance is close enough, I will take putter over mid-range or driver because it's slower and easier to control. There's less variance if I miss an angle. Say if I miss an angle with a putter and I miss the same shot on a mid-range or a driver, and then let's say I put too much hyzer on it, and it's a dead wind situation, not like a super crosswind or whatever. The mid-range is going to go farther and more left. The driver is going to go even farther and more left than that. The putter has a chance to not go quite as far to the left and maybe still be around the distance I was hoping for. So it's just a little bit more forgiving because it doesn't have that super sharp rim.
Yeah, see, someone says the guard, but the guard is just such a deep, shallow, or
yeah. If you didn't like how the Warden was in your hand, I don't think you'd like the guard.
It's a deep rim and it's not rounded. It's very straight. More.
Yeah. One that I think you might like is a premium plastic Maiden because it's a little bit shallower, kind of like the Deputy, but it's more stable than a Deputy.
Anthony throws the Maiden quite a bit, doesn't you? It's an off the tee
not
putter
very
for
well
Maiden.
though. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't. Yeah. So
I don't mean that. He parked a couple of crazy holes in Colorado.
hey, you missed Bobby on Fire.
Oh really?
I was throwing some good shot. And
at the Sunday
the Sunday team
yeah.
thing. I jammed some putts.
Dude, let's go.
Strawberry jammed some putts.
Which where are we all playing?
Jones East.
Longs or shorts?
Shorts.
What'd you shoot?
5. I don't remember. We didn't keep score.
Oh, okay. Because I was just gonna say you played the shorts when we did our trilogy challenge. So, yeah,
we were playing doubles.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Trenton Higley.
Oh yeah.
Was my doubles partner.
So you used all of his long drives.
Pretty much.
Dude mashes a frisbee.
Yeah.
He throws super far.
Yeah, he was throwing good.
He's a good kid.
And then Wyatt Mahoney and Miles were there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Wyatt was throwing good too. I mean, they were all throwing good, but Wyatt had some really good tosses.
Yeah, Wyatt's 3-time world champ now.
Bam.
Lefty.
Bam.
I wish that I hadn't been using Instagram story when this happened, but I caught up to Wyatt at Peter Pan. He was throwing the Peninsula hole, which is now over on the right side.
Yeah.
And
Keystone might be good, Sean. Thanks.
He threw, yeah, that's not a bad idea. He threw lefty hyzer that skipped up and was maybe 3 inches low of acing. But it was on Instagram, so I posted it to the DD Instagram story, but I didn't have it saved on my phone. I would have loved to have shown that to everybody because it was close.
All right, guys, so that's all the time we have for the questions. If you want to hang tight for the after show, or you will wait till tomorrow if you're listening to audio, we will have the after show. We have quite a few topics to talk about from the Facebook group, so this should be an interesting show because we're just going to sit back, relax, I don't know why I'm talking like this.
I don't either.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And YouTubers, you hang on tight. All right. Did you want to take a quick break?
Yep.
Why don't you take a break and I will entertain, and then we'll switch when you get back. Are you not entertained? All right. So on the Facebook group,
Yeah, we need to collect some of those topics.
yeah.
Or are you just gonna?
I'm just gonna go on the group and just go through them. So we have about 63 comments. We probably won't be able to get to all 63 topics, but we're gonna try to get through some of them. So anyway, Robert is going to go take a quick break, and then when he comes back, I'll take a quick break, and then we will start recording the after show. But if anybody has any questions in the YouTube chat, this is off record, off the air. I'm not recording, so this will not be. Well, I guess it'll live on YouTube, but it will not be part of the record. So if you got a question for me real quick, let me know. After show. The after. I should move the camera. So to throw people off. I think people figured out where the camera is and they're not going to walk. I want people to be surprised. I know. I think we're going to do that. I'm going to hide it in different places. Oh, there's somebody. Who is that? I don't know that guy's name. Wave. There. Oh, he wanted to hide from the camera. All right. So if you're just tuning in, we have the camera set up so that we can just capture some candid moments from the warehouse folks. But when I go take my little break, I'm going to move it. So you're going to see it move it just a little bit. Tell me why someone walked up to me at work while watching you guys and someone recognized you. What? Salvador, who walked up and recognized us? That's awesome. I constantly try to focus on keeping my thumb down. I'm releasing 90% to my line, even through really tight gaps, but I constantly have trouble releasing high. Field working almost every day. Danny's got to take this one. Danny's got to take the Makana. Makana is something that a lot of people actually feel like it's an unsung hero for some people. They like the Makana.
What's the question again?
I constantly try to focus on keeping my thumb down. I'm releasing 90% to my line, even through really tight gaps, but I constantly have trouble releasing high.
Field work almost every day. Any tips?
Whoa, someone just jumped in front of the camera.
Who's that? Oh, it's Robert.
Oh, go for it.
So keeping the thumb down, and you're talking about pointing your wrist down, the issue could also be your arm that's causing the disc to fly nose up or up in the air. Usually that comes from people throwing at the ground and then just tilting the disc back. That actually tilts the disc back so it flies up. So start your pull low and finish it high so you're throwing at the air, and then the disc will fly correctly according to its trajectory. It'll be more lined up with that.
There you go.
Big tip.
Thank you, Danny. Bobby, what are the benefits on being Team Trilogy? I finally got a new Ranger bag. Now I just need to register for PDJ. Great question, Justin. So Team Trilogy is a fan-based, fan-created. We collaborated with some super fans of our brand, and Team Trilogy was created. The benefits is you get some special like exclusive information on things coming up. You get exclusive, like we had
the first look at Raiders.
The Raiders. You got a first look at that. You had the opportunity to buy the Raider, certain Raider before everybody else did. You get a discount on certain items here at Dynamic Discs, and you get to be part of one of the coolest gangs. No, it's not a gang. The coolest teams out there, fan-based teams. So it's really cool stuff.
Yep. We also do a dinner with Team Trilogy, Team Dynamic Disc, Team Latitude, and Team Westside at Glassblown Open every year. So that's pretty fun. You out of here? All right, sounds good. Well, I'll just move on to some topics here. I apologize for that noise. All right. So on the Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook page, we got Steve O'Story was our first comment here, and he says, "What would the powers of a disc golf superhero be?" And if it was up to me, I'd say probably that your disc golf superhero throws about 600 accurately, makes all their putts inside 60, and has a great forehand and backhand. That would be about like all you could really ask for from someone who's really freaking good at disc golf. From the chat, Daniel says, "What golf brand stuff do you use?" Daniel, we had some friends at Callaway who hooked us up a little bit with some golf stuff. So right now I've got all their stuff in my bag. I've messed around with a TaylorMade driver that one of my buddies has. But yeah, that's just the stuff that I've got right now.
First of all, check your phone.
Okay.
Second of all, hi mom, have fun at work.
Thank you.
I don't know if you can get that to Bobby and have him show it.
Did you do it on Workplace Chat?
No, I texted it to you.
Oh.
Maybe it didn't send yet.
It hasn't sent yet. All right, let's keep it moving. Steve-O says, have you ever accidentally slept too late regarding a tournament you are playing, hosting, volunteering, or working? I have not slept in too late, but I have been dangerously close to being late at an event. Shay and I were in DFW. It's funny that Steve-O says this because I think he was probably at the tournament or maybe running it. Shay and I got caught in traffic on the way up to LL Woods in Louisville, and I showed up as they were saying 2 minutes. It was the worst. I also proceeded to play my second worst rated round ever. It was rated 905. A friend of mine on the card beat me by 18 that round. He played incredibly well. I played very poorly. He shot something like 1094. And missed the easiest hole on the course. Like hole 1 is a 200-foot straightforward putter shot, and he didn't birdie that. It was wild. Anyway, Don M in the chat says, tried the Mr. Orange and loved it. Don, I'm telling you that's the best taco at the place. The Roscoe is really good, but it's only there usually twice a year because it's a taco of the month. But Mr. Orange is the taco. It's the taco. It's so good. All right, pardon? I did the first 2 of these.
Oh, you did?
Yep. So we can...
well, no, we got to save it for the after show.
Oh, we're in the after show right
well,
now.
but I haven't recorded it yet.
Okay, well, deepest apologies, Steve-O. Your topics will not be in the after show. All
right, here we go.
You ready to get it?
Welcome to the after show. Welcome to the after show where we kick back, sit back, and eat some flapjacks. No. Be nice though, some flapjacks.
I'm super interested.
Did I tell you about the burger I had that had a pancake in it?
No, but I'm also very interested.
IHOP. Of course, you know they had that little thing where they had IHOB.
Yeah.
International House of Burgers. They have a burger that has 2 patties, of course, a regular bun, and in the middle a buttermilk pancake. It's good.
I'm interested. Yeah.
It's good.
Let's just
it's
make
about
that happen.
2,000 calories, but it is good.
That's all you get to eat that day.
Yeah. That's it. All right, so we got what we did on Facebook. Hopefully you're part of the Disc Golf Answerman Facebook group. A lot of you said you've been joining, and I haven't approved you, but I just approved 79 people. So maybe you're one of those 79 people that got approved. We posted on there. I said, give us a topic. We'll talk about it. Just about any topic. And so you said you did both Steven's topics?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is, nope, we won't do that one. Going to keep it real topic. Bad behavior by parents at Junior Worlds or on the course in general. How do you deal with that when you're running the event or see it out on the course? So I'm assuming he's reminiscent about, or it reminds me of even if you're at the soccer games or football games where you have parents that the coaches have to tell them to chill out, or the referee has to actually throw a parent out of the game because they're a little too intense.
A little too crazy. I actually did witness that a couple times where it felt like, now the thing is I can't assume, it wasn't like blatant like a parent yelling at their parent, yelling at the kid, but the sense and the vibe I got was the parent was a little too intense as far as they're correcting the player and how they play. And it is, you kind of watch and you think at what point would you say something, because you obviously, can't step in and say,
I can parent better than you, unless of course there's some sort of abuse, obviously. But that
Right.
I didn't see. It wasn't like over the top, but a couple things made me kind of pause and go, "Wow, dude, you're a little too intense for that young kid." And that just because that young kid made a little mistake. So I don't know how you would handle it unless you actually saw something that was just abusive.
Yeah. I mean, I saw parents like kind of get into it with their child once or twice, like if they made a dumb decision or picked the wrong disc or whatever. And that's not my favorite thing to see at all. But it's like you said, I don't think it's really, I don't know, it's not really my place to say anything. I did see the fake PDJ posted about somebody that they watched who was really young get into it with their child, and that seemed like a bad thing, but I didn't see that one in person.
Yeah. Tournament preparation, week before, day before, morning of. Week before, hopefully you're able, if you have the ability, you've played the course. And let's just go even deeper. Let's say months before. Are you working on your physical stamina? Are you working on your physical conditioning? Because that's a big part of play. And I'm going to tell you what, we see these young kids that are just getting better and better, and the physicality.
They could go play 5 rounds. And
Right.
Yeah, I'm good.
The physicality.
You guys want to go play basketball?
Of constantly playing disc golf is going to become a part of their game of being able to walk 2 rounds, championship 36 championship level holes. So hopefully you're getting yourself in shape that way.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that at the top level too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, I mean, almost all of our top competitors are in like really good shape.
Yeah. Day before, if you haven't been able to look at the course, if you can't practice that day, maybe you're able to walk the course, maybe even walk the course backwards. Yep. Making sure you check the weather. Is it going to be windier than when you practiced it? Is it going to be more or less windier than what you originally thought was going to be there? Morning of, a good breakfast, nothing too heavy. You don't have to have a breakfast if you're the kind of person that can go perform athletically in a fasted state. But other than that, a good hearty breakfast with some balanced nutrition. You obviously don't want to start. I know I've seen it
on the course.
Right,
I hate it.
Right, but I've seen it. But I've seen people just like chow down on some donuts and some Monster energy drinks, and that's just not a way to go.
Nope. And I mean, like, Shay and I right now are doing intermittent fasting throughout the week. But if I'm going to a tournament, I'm eating breakfast that morning for sure. And a decent healthy breakfast, not just, like you said, donuts or whatever. Because I hate getting hungry on the course.
Oh, I can imagine. Because it's just one of those things. I'm imagining it's one of those things you're like, I could have prevented this. Now this is one more thing on my mind when I'm trying to work on my game.
Yeah, you don't want anything else on your mind.
And if I had a simple egg or something, it would be okay.
Have you lost weight since you started intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting has helped with the weight loss journey that I'm on. At one time I did it for 1 week.
Yeah.
Just to say I did it.
Yeah. So that's just eating during the day from 12 to 8.
Correct. At 8 o'clock I stopped eating. I would drink water, and I would drink sometimes my flavored water, but then I would not eat until I got home at noon when I had my lunch.
That's what we've been doing, yeah.
But now I do it. Maybe twice, at least Tuesdays because of our meetings.
Yep.
And it's easy just to kind of get here and do it.
Right.
But other than that, it's maybe 2 to 3 times a week. So
yeah.
And now it's becoming like not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I've since we've been doing it, we got a scale to track things like that. Pairs to an app on your phone so that you can keep up with what you weigh and your body fat and all that stuff. And since we got that, I lost a couple of pounds just from paying more attention to it, because you don't want to look at it the next day and be like, wow, I'm a lot heavier than I was before. But since we started intermittent fasting, I'm probably down like, I don't know, 6 or 7 pounds.
That's good.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's good. Snickers and Three Musketeers. Sorry, John V. That is not an appropriate breakfast.
Doc Zen asked what my mid-game go-to snack. I really like granola bites or just granola in general. Sometimes if I'm feeling frisky, I'll take some peanut butter pretzels out there. I like some peanut butter pretzels. And then Diggin' DG says, what's a typical McCall pre-tournament breakfast? I just like to do something with a decent amount of protein. So eggs and bacon. Sometimes throw a pancake in there, but most of the time yeah, make sure that I've got a little bit of meat, some good protein, and that I don't want to overeat, because there's nothing worse. That's not true. Being hungry is the worst, but being over full after lunch or after breakfast, that's the second worst. That
sit in your stomach, yeah. Especially if it's warm outside and you could try to go play and you got to stuff. All right, Frank says, verdict, is it the best disc ever? Yes, it is. It's a pretty good disc.
Pretty good disc.
I'm sure a lot of people think it's the best disc ever, but I definitely have a verdict. No, I lost my verdict and I keep forgetting to replace it. But I had a verdict in my bag, and it was one of my more favorite discs for sure. Jonathan, the Gauntlet, the other day, Robert almost gave some details on it and got interrupted.
I don't know any details about the Gauntlet. Yanni, I wish I knew something for you, but I don't, man. I'm sorry. That's the Yanni who
used to work here?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Ryan, what kind of music do you listen to pre-round or maybe during a tournament? We were actually jamming out to Bobby's Jams at Sunday. It wasn't a tournament.
You are now
but
listening to Bobby's Jams.
I don't know that I listen to. There's no specific pre-round or maybe during a round, but when I do listen to music, it's a mix between. Let's see. I got some Toby Mac. I got some. I don't even know the names of the people. I got some. God, what is their name? Let's just go to my playlist. This is Bobby's favorites. This is my all around. So I've got some Hadaway, What Is Love?
Baby, you don't hate me.
I'd play it, but we'd get
copyright.
I mean, I've got all kinds. Imagine Dragons, Coldplay, One Republic, Gavin DeGaulle, Ellie Goulding, Matt Kearney, Coldplay, Sam Smith, Disclosure, Maroon 5, 21 Pilots.
Yeah, nice.
Mercy Me, Matthew Parker for King and Country, Danny Goki.
Danny
Goki.
I
don't know why I say Donny.
I don't know, man. You get those vowels switched up every once in a while.
KB, Lauren Daigle that I'm going to go see in concert in October. Torn Wells. Marshall. I mean, just all kinds of different people.
Lots of stuff.
Unspoken. They're a new band that I really like.
I don't listen to music while I play disc golf almost ever, especially not during tournament rounds. I just want to be out there playing. On the way in, I don't want to get super hyped before a tournament because I'm already I'm an overthinker, right? I'm super analytical and all that, and so I like to listen to music that just kind of chills me out a little bit. So I listen to Tycho a whole lot. They have instrumental stuff that's kind of ambient. I like that a whole lot. That just kind of helps to get me, maybe less because I don't need any help getting hyped. I'm hyped already. I need some help to calm down a little bit.
Oh, Legendary E says no Oasis. I actually have 2 songs of Oasis. I have a huge Bobby's
anyway. Here's
Wonderwall.
Playlist.
Here's what?
Here's Wonderwall. It's from Danny's April Fool's video.
No, I have a couple Oasis songs. I don't understand this question. I have a beat-in disc that doesn't fly like a brand new one. What disc will fly the same as it?
I think he's just asking like some of the questions that get submitted to the show. You know, I have a beat-in trespass, but it doesn't fly like
so you just
what should I get? Yeah.
Any flex shots.
We already kind of talked about that. If you prefer an Anheuser release, maybe that'll be better for you than a Heiser flip, but that's personal preference. You can get a lot of distance with both. But if you are going to throw, if you're going to force an anti-flex, one of the things that I think I need to work on is when you're throwing Anheisers, you need to follow through toward the ground. If you don't, if you kind of lean back and bring the disc a little bit higher than you normally would, you are just going to throw it nose up if you don't follow through to the ground. And that not only is not an Anheuser, it is way short and will hyzer out.
If you're taking new people out to play disc golf, what are the top 3 tips, fundamentals you can tell a new person to help them throw a disc? Easy to understand tips for beginners. Are we talking like
very first time beginners?
The first time they've ever thrown a disc, they're just interested and they're like, okay, I want to go try this disc golf thing you keep talking about. I'm probably going to show them the biggest thing. Okay, here's an example. I took my grandson Eli out, and he's played before, but 5 years ago. So obviously he didn't remember, and he was youngin'. But now he's 10, I want to say. Anyway, so we went out and played, and he was super excited. The biggest thing I told him, I showed him the X step real quick, how to do the X step, and then I told him flat and straight. Reach back, bring the disc flat across your chest, and release it flat. Because because when he threw it the first time, he did the same thing everybody does when they start out. They throw it straight up in the air like a frisbee. They think they got to throw it up to make it get up in the air. And so flat and straight. And I showed him like 2 or 3 times on the first hole, and then I didn't show him again until the 4th or 5th hole. I just let him throw. You got to let them just get used to the motion and get the whatever. I don't know enough. I'm not Danny. I'm not Robert where I can get specific, but I can give them those basic fundamentals, and then from there they can just keep throwing and throwing. Now, every now and then he would throw it, and he'd go, oh, man, and it'd go because it went straight up in the air. And I was like, you're throwing it straight up, Eli, throw it flat and straight. Remember, straight across your chest, flat and straight. And then he'd throw it, and it'd go a little farther, and it'd look good, and he'd get excited. And I go, that's it, flat and straight, man. Just throw it flat and straight. And that, to me, that helped him.
Yep.
That was as simple as you can make it.
That's the thing that I tell first-timers. It's what I tell my wife when she goes to play, is just imagine that you're pulling across the tabletop, right? You're just trying to sweep your arm across the top of a table. That means that when you reach back, it's flat. When you're coming through the power pocket, it's flat. And when you're falling through, it's flat. And at first, it's going to feel, when you do this properly, it's going to feel like you're throwing down toward the ground. But that's just getting the nose down. So that's probably the biggest one I would give. Another tip would be to not get frustrated when it goes poorly for you, because everybody starts out being crappy at disc golf.
Right.
Nobody walks out the first day and they're like, man, I'm pretty good at this. Because if you've thrown a Frisbee before, Frisbees don't fly like these. So, yeah, I think working on that. And then putting, our tendency is to want to make everything. Right? You're like, oh, I'm just going to toss it in there, but then we end up 3-putting. If you care about your score, you want to have more fun. If you're outside, 40 feet when you're starting, or even 30 feet, man, just toss it up there. Put it on the pole, drop in for 2. Your score is going to be better.
Yeah. I will say, I did mention, because Woj on here, Chris Woj said engaging the legs and hips. I did mention hips because I wanted him to make sure that was a fundamental that he got. And then the other thing was follow through. I did a couple of times tell him follow through, but he was doing I was amazed at his follow through, because he would end just like his whole body just twisted.
Right.
And
that's awesome.
I'd be like, man, Eli, I told you that's so awesome, that follow through.
So Shay and Jackie are playing in the doubles match play thing on the ladies' side.
When is that?
They play tomorrow, but it's going on right now.
Do we need to film it?
No, that would terrify, especially Shay.
Oh.
But
I figured she'd appreciate it.
I hadn't played with Jackie in quite a while. Dude, her follow through is awesome.
Jackie's got some good
I remember her being good, but she's gotten even better than the last time I watched her play. She's good.
And then the obvious thing is encourage the good things. Don't ridicule the bad things.
Yeah.
That's just, if you're gonna harp on someone just because you've been playing for 4 months and you think you know it all, doesn't mean that you're ready to instruct them and harp on their bad things. Just encourage the good things, and if they ask for critique on the, what did I say? Yeah, encourage the good things, and if they ask for critique on the bad things, then give it. Shane Carr, finding discs, returning them versus keeping ones without markups. Man, that's just an ethics thing, a thing in your mind that you've got to come to terms with.
If it's got a number on it, I'm calling it all
day, every day.
You got to call it.
You got to at least try.
If it doesn't, and you have, you can search out the other people that were on the course right now, but if you're out there by yourself, who knows how long that disc has been there? I don't think you're under any obligation to find that person if there's no way you could ever know whose it was. But if it's got a name and number and you don't call, man, come on, man.
Call.
Just call.
Charging admission to a tournament to increase the purse. I've seen a few tournaments do that, and I've thought, wow. But then, if you go to the Masters or you go to, other golf tournaments, you're paying for the privilege of watching.
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, golf's also in a different spot, though.
Oh, sure, absolutely. But I would imagine who else? Who does it? That's big. Does USDGC charge for you to watch? I can't remember.
I don't know. I know that they have special spectator packs, but I don't know if they charge to watch. I don't think they do.
There's some tournaments, the disc golf tournaments, that I know have charged a minimal amount to be on the grounds to watch. I think we'll eventually get there, but we're only going to get there obviously when we have private courses. And right now, those private courses, for the most part, are going to be disc golf courses. Golf courses. I'm not saying there are not private courses out there that are just strictly disc golf, but I don't see why you shouldn't. I mean, if you think about it, if you go to certain parks, national park. Okay. So you go to certain national parks, you don't have to pay, right? Because they have funding. But there's some parks that'll charge you like $10 to park or $5 to see it, and that goes back into maintaining the park. Because when you go there, you're walking on the grass, you're damaging the environment, you're impacting the environment, and they need the money to make sure that impact doesn't over time wear down. So to me, if you're parking your car in someone's land, if you're walking all over their grass, you're impacting the environment. Yeah, you should pay for the upkeep of that.
Mr. Drew on the chat says San Francisco Open charges to watch.
Okay.
And then another thing on here, Kane said, what kind of advice do you have for match play strategy? Any good books or articles? I haven't read any books or articles on it, but match play is totally different than stroke play. So one of the biggest things I would say to you is to not let yourself get down after any shot, because there's always a chance that you could throw a better shot on the next shot and swing the momentum in your favor. Never give up on a match play round. It's only one hole. Say we go play Jones East and Bobby opens up on hole 1 and he gets a 2, and I miss the Mando, and then I hit a tree on my next shot. And I get up there and I take a 6, right? Well, if we were playing stroke play, I'd already be 4 shots back, but right now I'm only 1 hole down. I'm good, man. That's 1 hole that I need to play well to get back to even. And so never give up is one of the biggest things. And then be aware of where your competitor is during the round. So if you're 2 up and you're facing like a 40-foot death putt, right? And your competitor is just maybe a little inside that. Maybe they're at like 30-something. You don't have to make that putt. You might give away the hole if you lay up and they make theirs. But when you lay up, I think there is power in laying up in that it kind of forces your opponent to think more about it. They think, well, now I need this to win the hole. You're kind of forcing their hand to make that putt. So just being positive in your mind that you can always make par, that you can always salvage a bad situation is one thing. And then, just put as much of the pressure on your competitor as you can. More topics.
Charging. Oh, no.
Left-handers.
Left-handers. T-signs, flight path, diagrams, no love for us lefties.
You're not wrong, Christopher. It's unfortunate. I don't know what percentage it is of people in the world who are left-handed, but I think it's like 10% or something like that. That's a guess. So not surprising to see it that way, but it does stink for you. Although I will say lefties did quite well at Junior Worlds this year.
Drone coverage during tournament play, not going to happen for any foreseeable future.
Probably too loud and intrusive for now.
And too much of a safety factor. If you have a crowd of people there and you have a drone malfunction and comes straight down, imagine the lawsuits or just the not good thing happening of a drone coming down on people and cutting people and injuring them. So I just don't know that that's going to be a thing for a while in disc golf. The future of the DC universe, it's over.
This is for me.
Why?
That's my question.
Why?
I'm very knowledgeable about all things DC.
Yeah, right. I don't even know if you've seen a DC movie.
I probably have.
Which one?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the DC. But why? Why, John? If you're watching, why are the DC universe the ones that are always kind of the dark ones? They seem like the Marvel universe. The Marvel movies are like on the light side for the most part, but DC universe is always kind of like the dark.
Is Deadpool in either one of those?
Deadpool
is Marvel.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was right.
Right. But even in it's like a. It's I don't know the word, but it's not dark. Although it had, it's very violent and vulgar. It still was kind of lighthearted in the sense that it was comedy.
Right. Yep.
Whereas the DC universe always seemed like everything's dark and everything's Batman and just dark Gotham. And not just Batman, but the other ones, the Suicide Squad, and even the Batman, Superman movies are just kind of like on the.
Yes, I did see The Dark Knight.
Well, you saw one of the better ones then.
Yep. Taro Tomala is in our chat.
Tomala.
And he says, what's your take on the idea that permeates much of the form discussion that there is a perfect form that would work for each and every one?
Nope.
Yeah, I think that's false.
False.
Lots of different body types, shapes, flexibilities, everything like that.
Hair.
I think
hair, no hair.
Hello. I think there are fundamentals that are good for everybody to have, but you can look at somebody like Garrett Gerthy, who I've used him now as an example a couple of times. He kind of brings the disc under his arm when he throws, and you're kind of told not to do that in form discussions, and then he rockets the disc a million miles. So while I wouldn't tell somebody to do that, I'm never going to tell Garrett Gerthy to not do that because it works for him. So no, there is not one perfect form. I think there are fundamentals that are good if you can kind of nail those down, but just to take this one person's, like if you looked at Paul Macbeth's form, if you said, okay, this is the way Paul Macbeth throws, all right, very tall person, you should throw like this. Yeah, it probably isn't going to work for them. Or a person who is like slightly overweight, maybe that doesn't work for them. Yeah, it's just different for different people.
And that's why I get frustrated when I see people dig on Danny, because Danny will give a piece of advice and then someone will show up, but he doesn't do that. So-and-so doesn't do that, and he throws 300 million miles. Well, that doesn't mean that what Danny's saying is wrong.
Well, like here's another good example is like generally in disc golf, most people think that having a more full reach back is good. Some people exaggerate it just a little too much, I think, and turn their shoulders way away from the target line. But having a full reach back is a good thing. Universally, I think people agree with that. But then you go watch like Alex Geisinger throw. Geisinger is one of the longest throwers in the world, and he doesn't have a full reach back. He just has incredible hip speed and just speed in general. So just because this one thing is most of the time true doesn't mean it's true for every person in every situation.
Right. Someone said the DC universe was dark because Nolan's success with Batman. That's fair. That makes sense. But someone said they're learning the lesson because Aquaman said that. That's right. Shazam was definitely a little more lighthearted. But even the bad guys, the villains on Shazam were pretty had a horror movie level to them.
Yeah.
I thought because I was watching it thinking, wow, there's some young kids watching this. This is pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
For the villains.
You want to keep on moving on the topics?
Yep. Favorite player pack item that aren't a disc or shirt. Now I haven't played a lot of tournaments, so I haven't really benefited from a player pack. But I'd have to say one of the best player pack items was the junior carts that we gave away.
Yeah.
Although
really
the Junior
cool.
Worlds this year, they got junior recruit baskets from Dynamic Discs, and Doug actually had every child had a personalized band that went around the top of the recruit that had, of course, the PDGA logo, and then it said PDGA Junior Disc Golf World Championships, and then had their name big in bold.
That was really cool.
That was really cool, and I saw a lot of kids' eyes light up when they saw that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Where would you like to be in 5 years with regard to your disc golf life? Do you set benchmarks to make sure you are always working towards your end goal? Examples of a current benchmark you are focusing on. So, interesting enough, doing what I'm doing right now was a benchmark of mine quite a few years ago, and I'm here. Right now, I'd like to see, honestly, I would love to see us, just from my side and my perspective, I would like to see having at least 3 to 4 more people that work in media for disc golf, obviously directly connected with Dynamic Discs and other companies maybe, but I would love to see even a bigger media company just pushing out more content, and then, of course, working with whatever is the Facebooks and the Instagrams of 5 years from now. I'm assuming these guys will be around, but just in case something new comes along, I would love to see that, because I would love to be producing high-quality television commercials for disc golf coverage that's out there.
Nice. 5 yards with regards to my disc golf life. Player-wise, I think without me going to get on the road a whole lot and just being able to play the amount that I do, I think if in 5 years I got to being rated 10-15, 10-20, somewhere in there, I'd call that a huge success. My current goal, I really said at the beginning of the year, I wanted to get to 10-15, and I think I'm going to have some difficulty doing that. I haven't gotten to play a whole lot of tournaments, and the couple that I've played so far, I've really just kind of played okay at. And so I think 10-10 is a realistic but still a stretch goal for me for this year. But in the next 5 years, yeah, I'd love to get up to somewhere in the 10 teens. I think that'd be really cool. On the professional side, I love getting to do what I do. You know, we have great players on all three teams, so staying in contact with them, making sure that they have what they need, and that we're in good communication with them is really important. And then, kind of like Bobby said, I love getting to do media stuff. It was one of those things that, you know, I didn't come in here thinking I'm going to do as much media stuff as I have, but here we are, and I've loved it. You know, I've loved being on Disc Golf Answer Man. I've loved getting to do commentary, both live and post-produced. And so, yeah, just having more and more of those opportunities, yeah, that'd be great.
Favorite, and least favorite disc golf club activities?
I always just played disc golf with our disc golf club.
I guess I don't know. How to get people interested in golf and getting discs in their hand without going broke, giving it all to them.
I don't know, Dan. I've got a whole crap ton of discs that I don't use anymore. So I just give those away to people when I can, because otherwise they just sit at my house. You know, yeah. Maybe you're new to it and you don't have that many discs as well, but golly, I've given a lot of discs away just because, I mean, yeah, what else am I going to do with them? I'm not going to throw them anymore.
Corey's looking for practice tips on rounding. Wants to get out of the habit of rounding.
Rounding is one of those things that is mostly a timing issue, and it's also sometimes that comes from trying to look up too soon from your throw. I know, because those are two of the things that I struggle with. So something that I'm working on right now is reaching back a little later in my run up, and then I'm also thinking about keeping my head down through the throw, trying to watch the disc as it comes forward, so that I'm not trying to pull my head up too early to watch the shot.
On the YouTube chat, Sean asked, Bobby, did you end up getting a yoga wheel? Yes, I did. It's a plexus wheel, or now they're called Chirp, and I've used it for a week now.
How was it?
It's helping.
Good.
It takes a little while to get used to the pressure that's put on your back, rolling like that, but the other day I used it and my back popped about 8 times. It was pow. And then I use it on my lower back. But yeah, I'm using the big wheel, and I think it's been helping me. I'm still a little sore when I wake up in the morning, but I think eventually it's going to help loosen that back up. Now, in fact, actually this morning is what I did some yoga. I did 30 minutes of beginner stretching.
Nice.
Form. I think I'm going to join the yoga place here.
Cool.
I've always wanted to get into yoga because I know that flexibility and mobility is a big thing. And as you get older, Robert, I'm telling you, I'm passing on knowledge.
I'm ready.
Yoga. No, mobility. Being able to stretch and stuff like that. Because your body's just, the older you get, the less it's going to be stretchy.
Right. And, well, I don't have good flexibility now.
Right. And that's just going to get worse as you age.
Yep.
And
I'm only getting older.
You're only getting older. How can we merge superhero culture and disc golf? What would this superhero's name be? Captain?
Yep, Captain.
Captain on the disc, the captain.
Only throws the captain.
For
putts and drives. I don't know. Chaser in the chat said we've got 2 people who need to update us on their rating. That's us, you and me.
Why? They haven't had a ratings update since the last time we talked about it,
have
they?
Yes, they have. They had.
We already talked about it, right?
Junior Worlds Week.
Oh, they did. Well, mine wouldn't have changed. Well, maybe it would have.
Let's check.
Oh, no.
What's your PDJ number?
39865. 39856.
Babe. Yeah, you're up 8. But we didn't talk about it last time.
Oh, well, I'm at 812. I thought we talked about it already. I am at 812, up 8 rating points. Woo, woo.
Boom. Crush. I'm down 1 point.
You're down 1 point, too.
Yeah.
Back to 1,003, though, the rating that he got when he made the challenge, made the bet.
Yep. Yeah, I played pretty poorly at Kansas City Wide Open, And then I played pretty poorly. I averaged 987 or 990 or somewhere in there. And then at Ledgestone, I think I averaged like 1006 or something. So neither of those awesome, but not bad. I overall went down one.
Look up Anthony's real quick. And yes, Johnny V, you are correct. That thought crossed my mind. More mobility and more stretching.
912?
Thanks, Johnny V.
Anthony's got no change so far, so he's 912 still. But they are equally as far away from their 850 and 950 goals as one
game
another.
on. When's your next tournament, Anthony?
He don't know.
I don't either. I know.
I was signed up for that one that Matt Lloyd was going to run, and then this morning he refunded my money because it's canceled until next year.
Oh, great. We need to find an event so we can play. How can we? Oh, nope. How aspiring AMs can become sponsored pros? Team director, what do you got to say? I'm sorry, manager of the year. No, the CEO. No, what are your title right now?
I am I'm Dynamic Discs manager.
Right.
And I don't remember the others that I was called. Dynamic Disc team director is my actual title. And aspiring AMs can become sponsored pros. There's one way for AMs to get sponsored, and it's by doing awesome stuff in their local, let's call it two. Doing awesome stuff in their local community, running events, clinics, things like that, giving discs away, a bunch of stuff like that. Like, that's the best way for an amateur to get sponsored. Putting courses in the ground, things like that. The other way that amateurs can get sponsored sometimes, yes?
Did Danny just... Did you not see that?
No, I didn't.
You're getting ready to. Sorry, guys. Watch the video. Should be coming up on your screen here in a second. Sorry, audio people, you're not going to be able to take part in this, enjoy this. But I think Danny pretended like he fell on the
I saw somebody say that
there
earlier.
Boom. Yeah.
Standard Danny.
Anything
What a
for the
goofball.
joke. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then we also have sponsored some amateurs who have won bigger events like Junior Worlds, things like that. So on the amateur side, that's really the best way to get looked at for us. That doesn't just mean that just because you win one of those things that you're automatically going to get sponsored. But that's a good way to get on our radar. Run those events, run those clinics, put in those courses, things like that. Then on the pro side, same sort of things unless you're going to be a touring professional, and then that's a totally different set of criteria. I would say if the only reason you're trying to get better is to become sponsored, you're probably doing it for the wrong reason. A lot of the people who we sponsor they're just competitors. They want to go out and compete every single week. And by not caring as much about sponsorship, it makes us more interested in sponsoring them, if that makes sense. So I'll check those out.
3 tries.
That was funny.
Took 3 tries. The first 2 I fell right behind where your face came in.
And Danny says it took him 3 tries to get that fall. Jeffrey wants to know apparently our thoughts on a rating systems division overhaul. Man, I just think we're too far deep into it to make a change like that.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, there are flaws. There are certain
Definite
flaws, and a lot of the old school, and I'm sure some of the newer ratings players don't like the ratings, but it's what we have. Could there be improvement? I'm assuming no one knows the formula except for Chuck Kennedy, and I'm sure a few other people at PDGA. No one understands it except for Chuck Kennedy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure a lot of people understand, but is it important enough?
I mean,
what does it do other than allow the people that gripe about it not to gripe about it? They're still going to not like it for whatever reason.
Yeah, people are going to gripe about. That's funny. People are going to gripe about it no matter what. It's the guest one anyway.
It's the guest one.
That's funny. People are going to gripe about it no matter what. Whether we change it one way or the other, they're always going to gripe about it. But one of the things that I would say is that, yeah, I saw that earlier. One of the things that I would say is that it's working pretty well for what it is right now. Yes, there are anomalies where there are higher rated players in an event and those ratings go up. That's just kind of how it is. But I don't think it's worth entirely throwing it out.
I play rec and novice division at this point. Had a guy in my last tournament that kept giving me a lower number of throws than his actual throws. When I first suspected it, he was doing this. I called him out on it the next time, and he agreed with me, and we gave him the correct score. But he did this on other holes later on. No one else seemed to care or weren't paying attention. I didn't continue calling him out because he was no threat to me, but I still am bothered by this. It was a very uncomfortable round. How have any of you handled a similar situation? If I had continued to call him out, it would likely have ruined my round. I guess that's just a choice you have to have made. Is it the what do they say, the hill you want to die on, or is it mountain, or is it hill?
Yeah, whichever.
In other words, do you want to make a big deal out of it, or just do your game? If this guy is just so out of touch that he doesn't care, or he doesn't think anybody else will care, that he's just going to continue to give the wrong scores, then at some point you got to decide, am I just going to fight this guy and make it a thing, or am I just going to just say, you know what, I'm just going to concentrate on my game? And it sounded like you made the choice to say, either you just didn't want to, or you were trying to ignore it, but you just got to go with every choice you make and just go with it.
I'm saying something every time, 100%.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what, but that's.
It's not because, like, here's the thing is, yes, it's kind of isolated to him. Like, if he wants to lie about it, whatever. But at the same time, that affects everybody. You know, that affects ratings.
That's true. That's a good point.
That affects finishing spots. That affects ratings sometimes in a way where maybe that determines what division you can or can't play next time around. I am 100%. If somebody tells me the wrong score, I'm saying, hey, are you sure it wasn't this? And then we count them up together and we go from there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. That really sucks. But yeah, I'm never letting that slide ever, because that's not in the spirit of the game. Like, if somebody foot faults and you don't call it, I think that's different than somebody telling you the wrong score on purpose. That's totally different.
I get you. That's a fair point. I changed my mind.
I'm always saying something. 100%.
Sweep the leg. Our very own community coordinator.
Yep.
Jake Key says there have been 7 albatrosses and countless eagles on the PGA golf tour this year. The common consensus is that disc golf is far easier to play under par than golf, but the facts show otherwise. What do you think?
No, the facts don't show otherwise.
Chris has a comment. Chris Hallberg says, my take on this is that par in disc golf is actually average. Par in ball golf is not average score. So whose par are actually wrong? What say you, Robert McCall?
All right, so it is definitely not easier to play under par in golf than in disc golf. It's far easier in disc golf. Even unless you're just playing, well, nope. I think it's still way easier to play under par in disc golf. Here's some of the reasons. We have a sport that, all right, if I throw a Raider off the tee of hole 3 at Jones East and I miss it 10 feet to the left of where I was trying to land, or 20 feet to the left, or 30 feet to the left, a lot of times I can still get up to the basket if I throw a good second shot. Golf isn't always that way. If you miss by a degree on your driver, at 2 degrees on your driver, that can be in a spot where it's impossible to come back from, or where you land in super thick grass that you just can't hit out of. So you've taken birdie out of the equation. Yes, some of the best people in the world have had 2s on par 5s. That's super cool. But those are anomalies. That's not the norm. Like, yes, they will get eagles on par 4s sometimes, or par 4s and par 5s. That's cool. Like, do your thing. But golf has so many more factors that factor into it than disc golf that it is always going to be more difficult to shoot under par for the top professionals. It's always going to be more difficult to shoot under par on a golf course than it is on a disc golf course. There it is.
All right, we're going to start wrapping things up. We have quite a few more topics to talk about, but we're just not going to be able to get to all of them. But thank you guys for putting that out there. We'll see what we can get through. Someone, let's see. In light of Junior Worlds, who are the juniors to watch? For example, Hope Brown, she saw it at 971, rated 8 down at Jones West. I was out taking pictures, and I had seen Hope Brown probably last year. And where did we go when we drove? Me and you drove to watch juniors to kind of get
Worlds.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's right. Because it wasn't official Junior Worlds yet.
It was the juniors competing at
right.
Worlds.
And it was where? Georgia?
That was in Iowa.
That's right.
Quad Cities, Iowa.
Man,
Illinois.
it was humid.
Very.
Very humid. Anyway, so I remember seeing, some of the kids out there because we were out there to get some promo material, and then Robert was out there to cheer on our team, and then, of course, being the team scout, checking out the young blood. Anyway, Hope Brown, I watched.
Sounded really inappropriate.
I know.
I was just scouting players.
He was scouting players. But I'd watched Hope Brown and some of the other female juniors out there, and they were playing good.
They can play golf.
They're playing some good golf for sure.
Yeah.
So Hope Brown is definitely one that I was like, okay, we're going to see her name around for a while in disc golf for sure.
Hope crushed it this week. She throws very far. She won her division by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good for sure. A couple of the other winners that I think are people to watch out for. I already mentioned Zach Arlinghouse. If you haven't heard his name already, you will. Gannon Burr won 15s by a lot. He plays really controlled golf, makes smart decisions. He's definitely one to watch. He's already got good distance for sure. The family that I think impressed me the most is the Castrita family. They are from near Austin. They're from Spicewood. And they had I met the dad. His daughters, one of them won MJ18. The other one, I think, got either second and 15 and won 12s or vice versa. But his daughters went first, second. Super cool. Really talented family. Yeah, they're pretty great. So lots of people to watch out for sure.
Derek Hart, we're going to find your question because you said, getting to my question, keep going. We'll do your question, and then we'll call it quits. Do you see it? Derek Hart. He's right here. Getting to my question, keep going. Is it Derek Edward?
Is it Derek Edward? Are you talking about the Lucid X Warden? Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome if we had a Lucid X Warden. I'd be super interested in having it. But, yeah, we just haven't really talked about it. We haven't really talked about it a whole lot, so.
Okay. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to the After Show. We appreciate you putting the topics out in the Facebook groups. We had stuff to talk about. There's no skip base or anything because there's no events this weekend, right? No Pro Tour NTs.
They might be. They might be doing European Open.
Oh, let's look at it.
Oh, speaking of, European Open's coming up.
European Open.
And President's Cup is coming up as well. President's Cup is a United States versus Europe match play event. That's super cool. You got to check that out. We've got a stacked team, and so does Europe. So this is going to be a really, really good year for competition. And then the European Open taking place at the Beast in Nokia, Finland. That's one of the places that I wish we'd have been able to play because that course looks incredible.
Yep. We got the European Open. So European guys, make sure you go to skipace.com. Johnny V has put a lot of work into fantasy disc golf for Skip Ace. Really fun stuff. We give away prizes based on if you can beat our picks.
This week, I think you will definitely beat our picks.
Why is that?
I just don't feel very confident about it.
Also, if you haven't yet, go to the European Open on Facebook page and vote for Paige Pierce, and Eric Oakley to be on a featured card. Huh? Hey, don't do it anymore because they ended. That's cool. Sorry about that. Oh, wow. Who are we going to pick?
There's a lot of good players at this event. Like a lot of good players. All right. I think we're gonna go this way. We're not gonna pick one of the top few so that we can save a few points.
Okay.
So we're gonna go with Kevin Jones. He's still obviously in the top. He's top 5 highest rated in the event, but there's a 19-point rating, a 21-point rating difference between himself and Macbeth. And so that's going to save us a few points for someone who I do think is going to do incredibly well in the event and could definitely win the event. I mean, he's a threat to win any event he walks into. So I'll take Kevin Jones.
Yeah,
there.
okay. Oh, no.
What?
Well, he is, but he how has he placed? I mean, has he placed top 5 and maybe 1 or 2?
He's done pretty well this year.
Yeah.
Let me look that up for you real quick. You won't be disappointed.
In 2019, looks like he's had.
Yep.
2 first place wins at A tiers.
Mm-hmm.
2 second place and 2 third place in all A tiers. And in NT, he got 5th place, 11th, and 12th.
But a couple of those A tiers were Pro Tours.
That's
a
true,
second
yeah.
and third at a Pro
Ledgestone.
Tour. Top 10s at a couple of other Pro Tours. Dude can flat out ball. There's.
Oh no! I'm not doubting that he can play. Just the statement you made, if he could win,
I think he could win.
He has the okay.
I'm not.
He hasn't proven that his ability. I think he needs more experience.
Well, I mean that could be true, but here's what it comes down to, right? It's not like me walking into this event and saying that I could win, right? If I executed every shot that I threw perfectly and everyone else went just okay, yes, I could win. But that's like the most hypothetical situation ever, right? Kevin has the skill set to compete at the highest level, and for the sake of Skip Ace, even if he doesn't win,
he's still going to play.
He's going to get us good points.
Right.
That's why I'm saying I think that we could save some points over picking Macbeth,
right?
Who I do think will win the event.
Kevin Jones was one of those that still continues to be one to watch. But I remember at the beginning of the year, he was like, "Oh, it's Kevin Jones," and he had. I'm not saying
this is a good
done
season
well.
though. Like this, you
No,
can't
there's no
just be
doubt.
like, "Hey, there's a 24th and a 29th, so he sucks." Like he's having a good season.
Sure.
He has this. Here's the thing, and even you could disregard all of these.
Yeah.
He has the skill set to go and compete with the best in the world. If he does it during the week or not remains to be seen, but he can do that.
All right, what we got next?
I'm putting in Eric Oakley on the second one. He played very well at Toonie, and we didn't pick him there. Deepest apologies, Eric. So
Did he call you out on that?
No, he didn't. And I thought he was going to play well, but we went with a couple of other European players. So Eric did quite well. Let's go over to the women's side real quick. Oh, that's crooked.
Oh, I knocked into it. I was getting all upset over Kevin Jones.
No, just this. Yep. All right, I'm gonna take.
There it goes.
See you later. That stinks. All right, I picked our females. I took Paige Pierce and Evelina Salonen. I think those are going to be 2 of our top finishers in the FPO field. Katrina is there. She will most likely play well. Henna Blumros is there. She will most likely play well as well. I think between those 4 and Kristen Tatar, that's probably your top 5. That's what I think.
All right.
But that leaves us 2017 points over here. We need to go... I like Silver. Silver's probably a good pick. Silver lot. And one more. 1008 is what we've got left. Colt Montgomery. Easy. Very good player. If he puts it together, he can play with the best of them. Substitute. Let's take Yanni Hirsimaki.
Hirsimaki.
There. I like Yanni. And he won something this last weekend. I don't remember what, but he did well. Yeah, I'll take Kristen.
Kristen Tatar.
Yep. That's it. We did it.
Save picks. There it is. All right, guys. Put your picks in for European Open. There's only 1 day left. Picks close in 1 day because they start. Do they literally start tomorrow?
The President's Cup starts tomorrow, and then the tournament starts on Thursday.
I gotcha.
Ace Run Productions coming in with a late super chat, $4.99. Thanks for the repost on Instagram. You guys are the best.
Absolutely.
I would personally like to say you're welcome, as I was the one who executed that repost.
No, he is not. I would have been the one that
Okay.
did that.
I would like to personally say you're welcome from Bobby for the.
I will personally take the credit by saying you're welcome.
Yes. No, thanks, Ace Run. We really appreciate the continued support, man. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So get your picks in at skipace.com. So join the group, the League DeGam, and use the password or code word DeGam. And once we come back next week, we will pick some winners. Hopefully you are subscribed to us because By now, you would have gotten the Jeremy Disc Golf. The Jeremy updates from Dynamic Discs audio, and then you'll get this audio on Wednesday, and then the audio for the interview that Robert McCall, Paige Pierce, and Paige Bierkes did for their local radio station, where they answered some good questions about the growth of disc golf, some of the juniors out here playing. You'll get some good info from them, so you can listen to the audio version of that. Thank you for tuning in to the After Show. Hopefully we didn't bore too many of you, and you had a good time.
This was one of the more entertaining After Show.
You think
shows,
so?
Okay.
Yeah, I think
that's user submitted topics. Yeah,
absolutely. So make sure you join us over at the Disc Golf Answerman podcast by Dynamic Disc on Facebook, so we can keep the conversation going. Make sure you rate and review us.
5 stars.
Go to iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify. Well, Spotify doesn't have a rating system yet.
I don't know, man.
Just rate and review us. We love it. We love you guys. We will see you on the next show.